Hello. I think everything's good. I'm live. Chat's popping. Audio's audioing. We're here to talk about the K-pop Demon Hunters lawsuit versus Netflix from the band Demon Hunter, which I see a bunch of people talking about and can't help but laugh at. I'm definitely not a lawyer, but I do have eyes, so I have a take on this. I don't think it's much of a hot take, but it's definitely an entertaining topic. How's everybody doing? Actually, I hope you're doing well, but it doesn't even matter how you were doing. I'm telling you how you're going to be doing. You're going to be doing great because this is a lighthearted stream topic. Nobody got hurt, and I love these. These are my favorite kinds of topics. Very, very excited about this. Someone said watching at work. Yes, let's go. I am at work too right now as we speak. Someone said, I'm glad we got a low stakes video today. Oh god, someone said that we're not beating the K-pop channel allegations. Listen, and I need you to listen very carefully. I understand that this is my third K-pop video in 4 videos because I talked about BTS and then Cat's Eye and then random gender war nonsense, and now we're talking about K-pop Demon Hunters. I know it's starting to look a certain way, but I genuinely promise this just happened randomly. BTS blew up because of a concert incident, and then instantly Cat's Eye blows up because of their new music video. And then today, I think this lawsuit literally I'm literally rambling trying to defend myself here. I'm not trying to become a K-pop updates channel. Swear to actual God. Someone said it's a very K-pop time in his life. I'm just in a very K-pop updates time in my life. I ask that you understand because I literally have no defense for myself. Someone said never beating the allegations. Literally never. That somebody somewhere do something about this. Someone said maybe it's time for a third channel. Oh God, no. But yeah, actually, we're not even talking about the musicians who made the pop this time. We're talking about the musicians who are suing Netflix over K-pop Demon Hunters, which would be the Christian metal band Demon Slayer. Sorry, Demon Hunter. I'm getting them confused with the anime because I love Demon Slayer. Actually, if you've ever listened to my intro song and that voice in the background that's like second form is Tanjiro from Demon Slayer. So if I accidentally say Demon Slayer 50 times during the stream, I apologize in advance. I'm not trying to can you dead name a rock band? I'm not trying to do that. Someone said, where did you get all the pink picture frames? The magic of CGI, baby. This background is not real. It's not AI generated, okay? I paid an architectural visualization studio to whip it up for me because I don't have that many pink objects in my real life. Most things in my life look like this, but I like the contrast quite a bit. Also, look at my new party trick. I bought these new tunnels, and okay, y'all are gonna laugh at me at how small this is, but look, on God, you see that right here? That's a hole in my ear. See? Look, hole, no hole, hole, no hole. Y'all are watching this on mobile like, D'Angelo, what are you talking about? But I can see it on camera now. I can see through my lobe tunnels, which is so nice. That's such a affirming thing as somebody who's trying to actively expand that hole in his ear very slowly. It takes such a long time. But I'm happy with where I am at the moment, and I will continue to be proud of my teeny tiny little goofy tunnels. Someone said it feels like a baby I feel like a baby first time seeing peekaboo. Yes, exactly. My ear lobes are playing peekaboo right now, and I'm so happy. Someone said tiny gauge. It's a tiny, teeny little baby gauge right now. Someday, hopefully, they will be big. Not too big. Because I like the big look on other people, but I still want relatively small ones, but certainly much larger than this. Someone said, I love the tiny tunnel. It's very graceful. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people don't know low key. You could genuinely just stretch your ear up to this if you wanted and leave it. And I won't tell you that it will probably close up if you don't like it because it's a permanent body modification. There is literally always a chance that it just remains that way forever. But even when I take this out, it doesn't really look too much like a stretched ear. I'm almost tempted to like leave it because it's so cute and unnoticeable. But no, I have plans, I have goals, I have like configurations and things on the mood board, and they require me to be a little closer to like 10 millimeters than where we are currently. Blah, blah, blah. Someone says your goal size is never your actual goal size. It's so addicting. Okay, listen. I'm trying to ward against that by purchasing jewelry at my goal size. So what this person's referencing is in the ear stretching community. Yes, there's a community for this. Everybody has their goal size. So some people want to be at 10 millimeters, which is where I want to be. I used to say 16, but I actually downsized it a lot. Some people want to be at an entire inch, right? And I think all of these are fun. But what happens is when people get there, they start reflecting on the dopamine rush of putting an increasingly larger piece of jewelry into your ear. And suddenly 10 millimeters accidentally turns into 12 millimeters, or an inch accidentally turns into an inch and a quarter. So because I don't want that to happen to me, and I don't want increasingly enlarging earlobes, I have started purchasing nice jewelry at 10 millimeters in the hopes that by the time I get there, I will have a collection that encourages me not to go bigger. I don't know if that's going to work, but I'm trying. I really, really am. Someone said that's something that couldn't happen to us ADHDers at all. That's literally why I'm trying to stop it from happening early, because I know that I'm at risk for this badly, very badly. Someone said low-key, yeah, having my full collection in all 00G, which is my goal size, makes me not want to stretch my ears bigger, but also talking about it does. See, it's dangerous as hell. It's dangerous and I hate it, but it's fun. I love it. Anyways, if you're new here, or this is your first time catching a live stream, this is a really good one to catch as your first one because it's a purely lighthearted topic. We get to talk about music. I love talking about music. And we get to laugh a little bit because I think this is a very silly thing. But if you're wondering why we're yapping about random things beforehand, the first 30 minutes of my stream is exactly what you're getting now, which is just a certified yap session. And then we'll dive into the actual topic of the video around that 30-minute mark. But yeah, so many things happening. And no, there's not really that many things happening. Clearly, it's a slow news day when a lawsuit like this is making actual waves in entertainment news. But I'm still entertained. So here's your news. Someone said this is my first live. Guess I'm lucky. You absolutely are. Every now and then I will have a live stream where if you watch the video, it seems like it was just sailing through all of my main points in like a nice and easy way. But sometimes it takes me a very, very long time to record because I will stop and get incredibly angry about whatever I'm talking about. Or I will start ranting about things that are not related at all. And then I have to chop them all out of the final video, which I think is fun. It works for me. So I get to be both versions of myself. A certified yapper and also on point a little bit for my videos. Someone says, what are they suing for actually? Okay, this is spoilers because we're not talking about it yet, but they're suing because Netflix has moved into the world of concerts with the official K-pop Demon Hunters World Tour. The movie, as you know, has existed for months and months, if not over a year at this point. I don't remember the exact date. And Demon Hunter was quiet. They didn't say nothing. But now that Netflix is trying to do a K-pop Demon Hunters tour, suddenly the Christian metal band Demon Hunter is saying that that's copyright infringement, and it's leading to customer confusion, which we will be looking at. And that also Netflix's merch is willful copyright infringement as well. So, yeah. I just thought we would take a look at what they're saying, what's in this lawsuit, the allegedly confused customer that has sparked all of this, and also some existing copyright / trademark I'm probably gonna keep accidentally mismatch copyright and trademark 50 times, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna try not to. Other trademark cases involving music acts. We're gonna talk about FKA Twigs. Did you guys know that her name wasn't initially FKA Twigs? She stuck the FKA there because of some cease and desist issues with a very litigious group called the Twigs. So like, we're gonna kind of look at how I'm not just dismissing them because they're a Christian metal band. It's literally because I personally, as a non-lawyer, don't think they have much of an argument based off of existing things. The fact that FKA Twigs is different enough from the Twigs. How would K-pop Demon Hunters not be different enough from Demon Hunter? So we're just going to look at a lot of things like that, and you're going to get my very uneducated take on this. And then I'm sure Legal Eagle will upload a video that contradicts everything I say with like 5 million times more expertise, and then I'm going to look like an idiot. But until that happens, I'm doing my darndest. Okay, I didn't pass the bar exam. What can I say? What can I say? Someone said this whole stunt's getting the most publicity ever. Yeah, I'm not sure if this is the best thing ever to happen to the band. Trying not to be mean, I checked their stuff out and I couldn't imagine too many fans of this type of news suddenly getting into Christian metal because of this. But I do think this is pretty amazing publicity for Netflix, because I don't think I knew that there was going to be a K-pop Demon Hunters tour until this, but now I do. I could imagine this being on the mind of a bunch of parents trying to figure out gift ideas for their kids in 2027 is probably very beneficial. But yeah, someone said Christian metal sounds like an oxymoron, or I'm assuming that's what you mean. Yeah. Okay, here's the funny part. As tempted as I am to like front and be like, oh, Christian metal, I, the enlightened, would never fall for that. Well, I did grow up Christian, or rather I grew up in a Christian environment, and I'm actually not nearly as surprised by the existence of Christian metal as so many other people seem to be when learning about this story. And also, I'm not a Christian, by the way. Also, like, for me though, it wasn't Christian metal, it was Christian rap. So we were very much like Lecrae, Andy Mineo, Tadashi, a bunch of artists that I can't remember off the top of my head now, because it's literally been well over a decade since I ever listened to Christian rap. But yeah, no, it's like, it's all cringe. It's all kind of cringe, but you know what? People are doing their best is how I feel. So thankfully at some point I realized that there were other artists making other music, and then I just decided to listen to the better music regardless of whether it was labeled Christian or not. And then suddenly I found myself listening to no Christian artists. So alas, what can we do? What can we do? Someone said not Toby Mac. Oh my God. Yes, Toby Mac, bro. You know what? When I start recording in about 12 minutes and 15 seconds, let's bring this all back up. I want people to know I have ties to the Christian music scene. That makes it sound like I make that kind of music. In other words, it was used as part of my, shall we say, indoctrination as a child. I was forced to enjoy that type of music because we didn't even have options. Someone said K-pop Demon Hunters lawsuit since when? Oh, you in the right place. I'm gonna tell you all about it soon. Soon. We're still in the ramping up phase. I'm warming up. I'm doing my vocal warm-ups right now. Someone said my dad is a Christian rapper. I hope he's one of the good ones. You know, to be fair, some of them were fine. Like, they weren't all untalented. I know a lot of people do like to rag on Christian music because it's all bad or whatever. I will tell you this. I believe almost all contemporary Christian music is bad. All of it. Like, anything that sounds like Hillsong could have written it, it's not a good song. However, I think there is actually a lot of Christian music that's totally fine. It just happens to be made by people who are Christians, of which there are like, what, 1 billion? So probably some of them would be pretty talented. But yeah, CCM is terrible. It's a very, very, very bad genre of music full of very formulaic and derivative songs. It's just not good, man. It's really not. Someone said your ears had ties to Christian music. Yeah, there was a lot of that. A lot of Hillsong United, Hillsong Young and Free. Oh God. bad. Someone said Grits somehow ended up in a Fast and Furious movie. See, I like Grits. I think they were a pretty good act, actually. I really do. Someone said Mary J has good Christian music. She does. Mary J Blige is so talented. Also, like, and when you start getting into the Christian rock genre, you get this kind of are they, aren't they territory a lot. Like, for example, you have the band Flyleaf, which is pretty much totally Christian rock, but then also they were just a normal pop rock band, and they have some really hype stuff regardless of whether you're into the religious mambo jumbo. And then they also have like who am I trying to think of right now? Oh, like I can't think of this band's name. Further Feels Forever is a Christian metal band, but then they have like a cover of Bjork's Pagan Poetry, which is so good. And that's not a Christian song, and that's an example of a Christian rock group making really great music. So like I have to like weekly say it's not as bad as it sounds, but yeah, it's largely as bad as it sounds. Oh, someone said I used to love Flyleaf. Brothers, same. Also, relevant info. People online were like, y'all know Demon Hunter, the Christian metal band, is full of Nazis, right? And I was like, okay, that's a really, really, really bold claim. Let's try to source that really fast. But I did look into it, and I literally found a post on the metalcore Reddit of multiple people pointing out that the current lead guitarist was reposting Nick Fuentes videos on Twitter. Those videos are not up currently, but I did see more than one person say I literally was looking through his follower list and he was following neo-Nazi accounts. So I'm going to throw that out there as well. That just feels like relevant info. Obviously, that's not going to be used in court against them, but you should probably know that, and you're forming an opinion of this band because what the helly? What the actual helly? Someone said Lacey and Flyleaf prayed the gay away, essentially. Ooh, that's rough. Yeah, there's certainly no such thing as praying the gay away, and that specific aspect of Christianity, as it's typically presented, is terrible. To be fair, though, not all. Wait, he's about to not all men. I think there's a lot of Christianity as it exists currently that has normal sane stances on that kind of thing, but no, sadly, it is still way too common for homophobia to rear its ugly head. Like, for example, I know a person who is a lead. He's the lead. He leads worship. Sorry, I haven't been to church in so long, but he's the worship leader. He does all the music at his church. And you know, the number one person he enjoys talking about, like his favorite person in the world, is his husband. I think those are the two things I know about Broski. Is like he does music at his Christian church and also is married to a man. Very publicly, obviously, the church is aware of this. So, like, you could still totally go to church without encountering this homophobia as long as you're surrounded by, like, well, people with sane takes. But unfortunately, you're still much more likely to encounter nonsense. Someone said that's so cute. I think it's cute. Bro literally has two main loves in his life, that person and making music for the Lord. And I'm like, you know what? More people should be able to be all of themselves instead of, quote unquote, praying the gay away, because that's not a thing. that's not something that can actually happen to you. Oh man. Someone said there's a lot of churches who support pride, but then so many protesters, so it balances out. Yeah. And I can't blame anybody for just kind of curving the entire scene entirely because you just don't want to try to figure out who is who, but it is what it is, man. Someone says it's so difficult to find a favorite celebrity act these days without Googling them up beforehand just to be sure they're okay to follow. Yeah. Also, like, I have mixed feelings on that. I gotta be careful how I word this so it doesn't sound like I'm trying to downplay important issues. But every now and then, I have to be honest, sometimes I get annoyed when people are like sharing good things about someone or just neutrally saying, I enjoy this person's music. And then in the comments, someone will be like, you know that they literally are a murderer, right? Not really. I'm exaggerating for effect. Now, here's the thing. If you're telling me that somebody is like bigoted in some way, I actually would like to know that. I do think that's relevant info, but I feel like on every single post that I'm on, where it's somebody just neutrally talking about somebody's body of work, someone chimes in and they're like, well, in like 2012 in Twitter, they actually posted this one thing. And I'm just like, damn, bro. Thanks for the info, I guess. I still think these things are worth talking about, but someone said ignorance is bliss. Maybe it's just me being annoyed at no longer being able to live in blissful ignorance. Who really knows? Someone said my church is where I got my first pronoun pen. Yo, let's go. Let us go. Someone said I'm late. Don't worry, you're not late. Well, I mean, you are, because I started 25 minutes ago, but we're actually starting the topic in about 4 minutes and 32 seconds. So you're just in time. You really, really are. Someone said people need to know that. Again, I will reiterate, there are things that people do need to know and you should spread the word. Just, I have seen some things be brought up in comment sections where I was like, this person didn't even do anything. They were just like, what's the word I'm looking for? Tenuously associated with a vibe that some people don't like. And I'm just like, it's a wild, wild world out there. Blah, blah, blah. Someone said that we're still in the pre-app session. Yeah, shortly. We don't have much time left. I feel the topic. It's coming to me. It's formulating. No, just kidding. I do not formulate my topics off the dome. I always do at least a modicum of research. A video like this doesn't really take that much research because I literally just have to point and be like, this is dumb. But I did do a little bit of research into like copyright precedent or trademark precedents. And that's kind of informing my opinion because I was very split. I'm going to be honest. When I first heard about this, obviously I know how people feel about Christians on the internet and I know how people feel about corporations on the internet. And so I was very much like, maybe someone is in the right here or whatever. But looking into it, I don't think these people have much of a case, which is what I'm going to try to present to you today. So someone says, imagine if you were just yapping without prep. That would be scary. If somebody is talented enough to actually like deliver one of my videos with all of the relevant information just off the dome and have links to sources, I would be horrified of this person's power. I really would. I'd be jealous. Jealous as hell. Someone said here for my K-pop news stream. No, we are not a K-pop updates channel. Absolutely not. I mean, I've been giving almost exclusively K-pop/K-pop adjacent updates for the past, week, but that's literally a fluke. It's actually just a fluke. Oh my god. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, wait, I like this one on God. Someone said the automatic assumption people give when you say you like a piece of media to thinking you fully endorse everything tied to it. Yes, that one pisses me off, especially as somebody who is a fan of problematic things. I do think sometimes when you say like, oh, I like this one thing, and then people will be like, ew, well, that thing has this in it, and then you're basically implying that you were trying to give a pass to this thing. But usually when I'm a fan of something, I'm also very critical of it. I tend to give the same example for this, but I think of the Final Fantasy series, right? Which is probably one of the things that I'm the biggest fan of. But like, there have been so many Final Fantasy games that have so many poorly handled character designs. A lot of times the women in Final Fantasy, it's like, oh man. I mean, you get a lot of really cool characters, right? But for every lightning, there is a vanilla. And if that doesn't make sense to you, good, continue to live in your blissful ignorance. So like when I say I enjoy Final Fantasy a lot, or even that it's my favorite series, that doesn't mean I want you to pull some character that was handled really poorly by Square Enix and think that I support that, because I really, really don't. I really don't. So yeah, I'm a fan in the capacity of a hater. You feel me? A lot of times. In fact, that's my ultimate like form of enjoyment, is when I have a lot to criticize, a lot to sink my teeth into, because I'm just a hater. It really be like that. Someone says being a Final Fantasy fan is true commitment. Well, yeah, because also Square Enix is a very annoying and terrible company, and yet I could not possibly be more excited for Final Fantasy Resonance, the upcoming HD to what is this? I don't care. Just allow all. Just mess me up, fam. Who cares? I could not be more excited for Final Fantasy Resonance, this upcoming 3D pixel art game. It has, I think it's based off of Brave Exvius, if I remember correctly, but it has all of these characters from like other games, and all of the artwork is so beautiful. And I don't know, I'm just like a little dog or something where you can just ring a bell and I'm like, oh, it's dinner time. So yeah, I'm certainly not perfect in my consumption of media either. I'm really not. So I'm excited for Resonance too. Absolutely. Someone says, as a hater, my favorite problematic series is Dragon Age. Rest in peace to her terrible final sequel. You understand the pain of actually being a fan of something, is sometimes being like, wow, this aspect of it is terrible. It really is. Someone said that's me with Nintendo. Yes. Someone said I feel the same about most RPG games I play nowadays. Precisely. You understand. Yeah, I try not to just be a uncritical defender of everything I consume. I think I usually agree with most people's complaints about things. In fact, even not talking about the quote-unquote problematic aspect, but just from like a game perspective, a lot of people really hate Final Fantasy 13, which is my favorite Final Fantasy game out of all of them, even though I like 10 is like a close second, and I actually think the gameplay is better in 10, but I literally love Final Fantasy 13 so much, and the vast majority of the discourse within the fandom is how terrible Final Fantasy 13 is, and I'm just like, what can I do? as a Final Fantasy 13 defender, it ain't much, and it's not honest work either, because I agree, the game isn't, it's not perfect. Actually, it's not even very fun to play, but it just has a specific kind of vibe that I love. So let me love my problematic media in peace, for real. Anyways, someone said, I love that you appreciate Final Fantasy 13. Everyone thinks I'm crazy for loving it. They literally would think we were like brainwashed or something, but I think it's a fantastic experience. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and start recording in 3, 2, 1, start. Okay, everybody say hi while I drink some water. Try to, get the pipes working. I'm going to sing Golden live. Well, Netflix is being sued over K-pop Demon Hunters by a metal band named Demon Hunter. This is not a joke, not a faux headline. And you're probably assuming from the way that I'm dressed, I would be more likely to side with the metal band, but I listen to their music, and I think I might actually like K-pop Demon Hunters music more. I'm starting mean, and I don't know why I'm doing that. Anyways, there's been a lot of discourse, though, as you could imagine, about are they actually in the right? Do they have a case? With some people saying this is obviously just a frivolous lawsuit, and other people saying, hey, you can't just judge the Christian metal band. They're a Christian metal band, by the way. You can't just judge the Christian metal band without giving them a fair shake. We looked at the lawsuit, and they actually do have legs to stand on. So I decided, why don't we take a look at the Demon Hunter versus K-pop Demon Hunters lawsuit and see what the hell... Oh, I shouldn't say that. There could be Christians watching. All right, that's so stupid. Also, if I make any jokes in this video about Christianity, I'm allowed to do that more than other people because I was indoctrinated for 20 years and I'm free and ain't none of y'all taking me back. All right, we're good. We're good. Let's go. No more highs. I'm happy with that intro. I enjoyed it. This is probably going to be a really breezy, video, honestly. There's not a lot here, but what's here is hilarious. So, someone said, did you plan that? No, that entire thing was extemporaneous. Off the dome. So, if you haven't heard of K-pop Demon Hunters, that would be kind of amazing. It is objectively Netflix's most popular film at this point. It was just their most popular animated one, but by the time it passed 236 million views, it's the most popular movie that they've ever been responsible for. All right. And by responsible for, I mean it's like on Netflix. You know, Netflix loves slapping their name on things they didn't actually make. But for all intents and purposes, this will be a Netflix property for the remainder of this video. And so I guess the runaway success of K-pop Demon Hunters should make it no surprise that we got the announcement of the K-pop Demon Hunters tour. Official K-pop Demon Hunters global concert tour is coming. This was announced in May, so just a couple months ago. June, July, August. What is happening to the year? Soon, you will be able to feel that golden energy in real life. As someone in chat said, it's going up, up, up. It's very punny. It's referencing their massively popular song Golden from the soundtrack. Netflix is teaming up with AEG Presents to launch a K-pop Demon Hunters global concert tour, a live experience that will bring elements of the two-time Oscar-winning film to life in spectacular ways. Join the waitlist below to be notified as more information and ticket details are announced. Yes, this tour has been announced, but actually, no, it hasn't, because we don't even know what the dates are yet. And that still hasn't stopped Demon Hunter, the Christian metal band, from swooping in with their lawsuit. So, I must admit, I have never really heard of Demon Hunter before this, but that doesn't mean no one else has, right? Actually, I did some poking around, and if you were a Christian metal fan at any point, you probably would be aware of the band. They have some bangers, I guess. Bangers, like, virality-wise, I see a few. 9 million, 3 million, 3 million. I wasn't kidding earlier when I said I did try to listen to some of their current stuff. Okay, hold on. I really hope I don't get a copyright claim on this, but we'll see. It's just not my style. And that's okay. That's not relevant to the events of today's video. So, moving on. What is relevant is Netflix sued by band Demon Hunter over K-pop Demon Hunters. Christian metal band Demon Hunter has sued Netflix and concert promoter AEG Presents in California federal court, alleging an upcoming concert tour, etc. The band said in the lawsuit filed on Tuesday, that was like the day before yesterday, that the recent announcement of a tour based on the movie has created consumer confusion and threatens to eclipse its brand. So that is the crux of this lawsuit, which is that because Netflix is now touring, it's getting into infringement because people are going to confuse the K-pop Demon Hunters World Tour with Demon Hunter and their tour. Simply put, Netflix is no more entitled to use the mark K-pop Demon Hunters than it would be to launch a recording artist's live touring show and merchandise under the marks K-pop Metallica, K-pop U2, or K-pop Black Sabbath, the lawsuit said. And okay, I guess I see what they're doing here. Alleging you can't just stick the word K-pop in front of our band's name and then tour in the same field that we do. I have so many thoughts on that, not least of which Demon Hunter, unlike, say, Metallica or U2, is just a generic descriptor. But you know what? Let's just keep going. Netflix responded in a statement on Wednesday and said that the allegations were without merit. We look forward to vigorously defending this matter, Netflix said, and Demon Hunter's attorney declined to comment. Someone said we're that full of ourselves. Yeah, just wait. You're going to see that they are alleging Netflix knows that Demon Hunter exists and was willfully infringing on their copyright because they could. Now, a couple of... kind of pull this up right here. Oh, snap. Hold on. One of my links is not working. Okay, I fixed it. A couple of things that I see. a lot of people think that they're just suing over the name itself and that Netflix should not be allowed to have the name K-pop Demon Hunters. And obviously that would be insane because just the amount of times the phrase Demon Hunter appears in various media, from the sword of the Demon Hunter to the Demon Hunter class in Diablo. Like, all of this is actually genuinely ridiculous if they were actually trying to imply no other human should ever be allowed to use the phrase Demon Hunter. Pulling this right here. Even the anime Demon Slayer comes to mind. I saw a lot of people joking about that. But in their defense, that's not actually what they were suing over. And it wouldn't make sense for them to do that because the band within the movie, as many of you probably know, isn't even named K-pop Demon Hunters. Pulling this right here.
Please welcome the...
They're called Huntrix, obviously, and they quite literally never perform under any name other than Huntrix. Also, if you're confused about how an animated band is performing live at the BAFTAs, it's because the voice actors behind the singing, there's also voice actors for the dialogue, they are established artists, and so they've been going live and performing these songs, and I think it's really cool. Also, I have to disclaim this. Actually, I'm probably going to put this in the video. I have to disclaim this with the same disclaimer I always give over K-pop Demon Hunter soundtrack. On God, I still feel like Golden was the wrong song to get famous. I understand why it did. It has the punchy chorus. We're going up, up, up. You know, they hit the high notes and it's a very big and exciting song. It's easy to sing. Well, no, it's not easy to sing, but it's easy to get stuck in your head. And yet I just feel like there were other bangers on that soundtrack, but that's just me being salty. I watched the movie when it came out and I did not want Golden to get popular, man. Someone in chat said my guy more K-pop. Don't ask why this is my 5th K-pop video in a row. It's not in a row, but also someone said the soundtrack has a ton of great songs. It really does. Someone said How It's Done clears. How It's Done is an example of a song I would say is way cooler than Golden. But listen. Someone in my chat just said or alluded to the fact of why am I doing another K-pop video? I said this before I started recording. This is not my fault. Last week, BTS winds up going viral across all of Twitter because of an incident of a couple of their members attending a Chris Brown concert and also them doing promo for Gemini AI. So I talk about that. Then I try to move on with my life. But between that and my next stream, what happens? Cat's Eye, a global group managed by the K-pop company Hype, they wind up having this controversy because they drop a music video for Hootie Fruity and then it kicks up all this discourse about that. So I tried to move on last time with a video about, the male loneliness epidemic. I thought I was free. We got Tom Holland in the thumbnail finally. And then this week it's more K-pop immediately. So to paraphrase someone in my comment section, I'm just in a very K-pop updates we're all just in a very K-pop updates phase in our lives right now, but I promise I'm not doing this intentionally. I really am not. Someone said D'Angelo clearly cursed by always talking about K-pop somehow. Anyways, but yeah, if you're watching this video and you're confused, don't worry. I'm sure I will have other topics. Okay, so pulling this right here. But wait, this is the wrong website. We were already there. I want this website. But yeah, it's not the name. It's basically this. I don't think Demon Hunter wants Netflix to continue promoting the K-pop Demon Hunters World Tour, which to sign up for, or which to RSVP for, I would have to select my birth year from this incredibly long drop down menu. Okay, we're almost there. Oh, here I am. I feel like those drop down menus get longer every year. Does anybody notice that? It's not that I'm getting older or that time is passing. It takes so long to scroll to 1998 nowadays. What's up with that? Blah blah blah. Someone said KD Angelo. That's a really good pun. I like that. KDA was so fire. This is someone in chat said, I hate those drop downs. Yeah, they just make me feel old as hell. This is the website for Demon Hunter's tour. Demon Hunter Wolves at the Gate Bloodlines storm the gates of hell for their 20-year anniversary tour. The literal concept of somebody confusing, hold on, let me actually answer this. The literal concept of somebody confusing this website with this website is so funny to me. But yes, we are going to go ahead and try to argue that Netflix is causing too much confusion over this. Also, one thing that I don't realize, or one thing I don't think a lot of people have realized from this, is they are also currently saying in their lawsuit, which we're going to take a look at, that Netflix's merch is willful copyright infringement too, because they have a shop where they sell K-pop Demon Hunters toys, figures, clothes, desk mats. But because Demon Hunter the band also has a merch website, I guess apparently some unsuspecting person would accidentally wind up buying this for their kid who just wanted a Huntrix desk mat, is what we're supposed to believe about this. Anyways, here's the lawsuit right here. I'm just gonna scroll down. Hold on. Moved to almost a complete overlap. Oh, I spelled that wrong. Uh-oh. Wait, I'm trying to find something in this lawsuit. I literally, moved to an almost complete overlap. Okay, I searched for the wrong thing. Hold on, give me a sec. I love sorting through legal documents. It's so boring. Okay, great. With the announcement of live concerts, they told the court, and the application for a trademark registration for live entertainment services, defendants' use of K-pop Demon Hunters has moved to an almost complete overlap with Hyde Lane's trademarks. Hyde Lane would be the label that is responsible for Demon Hunter. Me forgetting their name already. And yeah, they on God are showing like, oh look, they're selling K-pop Demon Hunters merch. How dare they? And when you Google Demon Hunter, K-pop Demon Hunters comes up. Pulling this right here. Okay, great. So we got to find the part where they start talking about being confusingly similar. Oh, why is this generative AI thing there? Can we not? Confusingly similar. Okay, here we go. In a section titled K-pop Demon Hunters is confusingly similar to Demon Hunter, they say, it's true that it's confusingly similar. It subsumes the entire Demon Hunter mark. So that's the first thing I want to get into. Because the actual word K-pop Demon Hunters, you could take out Demon Hunter, they're saying that's obvious how it's causing confusion. Before we get into that, though, I just want to point to a few other groups because I don't think that this makes very much sense. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of After the Burial, but would this not also make it copyright infringement that we have an artist called Burial? I don't think that's copyright infringement just because this word mark is entirely subsumed by the other. Similarly, like, you know, Earth, the band Earth, old one. I certainly haven't listened to them, but like, I don't think Earth would get to say, or because Earth, Wind, and Fire exists, we're being infringed upon, or vice versa. Sorry, both of these bands are before my time. I don't know which one came first, but you get where I'm getting at here. I think if this whole subsuming thing was a problem, so many bands would be in trouble. Let's see. Air was probably going to wind up getting in trouble from Air Supply. Da-da-da-da. Sleep. Sorry, you just have to let me go through all of these because I did so much. I tried to find so many of these and I got happy about it. Sleep suddenly is going to be suing Sleep Token, I guess. I don't know. I know I'm making this sound stupid on purpose, but I just genuinely think this is a stupid argument. Sorry. And if there's a lawyer watching this and you're like, no, it actually does make sense, I would need somebody to explain how it would be allowed in all of these cases, but not all of these other cases, how it would be allowed in all of these other cases, but not this specific case. Because I think something's not clocking to me. Anyways, just let me do one more. I can't wait for Death to wind up suing Death Cab for Cutie. I'll be waiting with bated breath for that one because that would be pretty funny. Anyways, getting back to their actual lawsuit. Where is this Adobe document? So here's where they make another argument, and I'm like, okay, I see where they're coming from, but I just think this is still a little bit ridiculous. This is very long and boring, but what it's basically saying is Netflix tried to trademark K-pop Demon Hunters, and they got rejected by the trademark office multiple times because, as it says right here, K-pop is merely descriptive of an ingredient, quality, characteristic, function, feature, or purpose. In other words, it sounds like the trademark office was a little worried about Netflix trying to copyright or trying to trademark K-pop itself, right? And that's why this was rejected. But they even say right here in their own lawsuit, the trademark examiner provided a way forward with for Netflix Studios. Applicant may respond to this issue by submitting a disclaimer in the following format. No claim is made to the exclusive rights to use K-pop apart from the mark as shown. And this was literally in July. This was actually just a few weeks ago. It's barely been a month. So I don't think Netflix has had time to sort out this trademark issue that they're running into, but I don't think just because they said K-pop can't be trademarked by you guys, that means K-pop Demon Hunters is somehow a trademark infringement of Demon Hunter. If that makes sense. This feels like reaching. Someone in chat said this is such a reach. I don't currently understand how this is going to work out for them. Someone in chat said going outside the music world, that would mean that Avatar could sue Avatar The Last Airbender. Yeah, like obviously titles aren't really like copyrighted in that way, but it's opening up a whole can of worms that I just don't think anybody wants open, which is why I couldn't really see this working out for them. It says simply titled, this is where they bring up their argument about you can't just say K-pop Metallica, K-pop U2, or K-pop Black Sabbath. And then right here it says not only are the terms confusingly similar, the services have nearly complete overlap. So even though Demon Hunter has essentially been using that trademark for 20 years, as they say, because of the overlap in goods and services and the strong similarity between K-pop Demon Hunters and Demon Hunter, consumers are likely to be confused regarding the origin, sponsorship, or affiliation of the goods and services. And this is where they include one example. I honestly thought it was going to be like page after page of them losing money over this, which if they could prove that they were losing money over this, I would understand this being a problem. But they just have this one example of defendants' activities have already caused actual confusion. On February 26th, 2026, Hyde Lane received an email requesting a ticket refund based on that person purchasing tickets to a Demon Hunter concert after being confused and thinking that they were purchasing tickets to a K-pop Demon Hunter concert. Hi, Demon Hunter. I just purchased tickets to your show in Albany, New York for May 2026, and after I accepted the tickets, I realized that you guys are not K-pop Demon Hunters and that my 5 and 6-year-old girls will probably not fit in well at your concert. I thought I was purchasing tickets to a child-friendly concert. You thought you were purchasing tickets to a child-friendly concert off of this website. Now, obviously, this implies to me probably they did not purchase the tickets off of this website, because if you did, oh my god. But I would just like to believe maybe they bought them off of some other service, because I have no idea how you could possibly get this confused. But they say I was way too excited and I didn't pay attention. I spent almost $500. Pause. Pause on that one really quick. You spent what? I spent almost $500 on the tickets. I think, how are a few tickets to see this Christian metal band $500? Am I missing something? Because I wanted my girls to have a great view for their very first concert, and I really messed up. They must have gotten them like meet and greet tickets or something, because this is like mega pop star level concert tickets. If I don't get it refunded, I will not be able to purchase tickets to the actual K-pop Demon Hunters show. Please help. Thanks for your time. Reading in chat right now. Someone said, how is Demon Hunter pulling that kind of price? Yeah, to be fair, they bought 2 tickets for their daughters. So that's 1 daughter, 2 daughter, probably themselves and another parent. So you know what? Together, that might actually be more like $125 per ticket. And I guess I could see that if they were like super great seats, as they put it. I think I just got a little stun locked by the $500, but yes, this is part of this as well. And so this, I perused this entire lawsuit to the best of my ability. I also got very bored. This is the only space I saw where they're talking about actual damages, right? Obviously, if somebody tries to buy something for $500 and then they're trying to charge that back, they didn't say they were charging back, but they're trying to get refunds. I could see that being a problem, but I can't stress this enough. It's just one person with no actual evidence beyond a cited email. And then under this, they say, well, you know what else happened? In March of this year, a producer from the television show Inside Edition emailed Ryan J. Downey, the manager of Demon Hunter, the band, to request an interview with songwriter Yuhan Lee to, quote, speak with him about winning the prestigious Oscar Award. Yuhan Lee is not associated with Demon Hunter or Hyde Lane, but he is the songwriter for K-pop Demon Hunters that won an Oscar in connection with K-pop Demon Hunters. So I guess it's like, okay, we don't have a lot of examples of us losing money, but also people were emailing us incorrectly because they thought we were you guys. So no longer allowed to promote your concert? ? Someone said this is so embarrassing. Dude, it's like the gymnastics required to believe that this would actually get them anywhere is stunning to me. They also point to the fact that numerous posts on social media, such as Instagram, incorrectly tag Demon Hunter, hashtag Demon Hunter, in connection with K-pop Demon Hunter's content. Yes. Because your aunt, your mom, your grandma, your uncle, your teacher is posting a quick little Instagram post about how much the kids are in love with K-pop Demon Hunters, and they said hashtag Demon Hunter. That is a reason why everything Netflix has been doing is willful copyright infringement. Someone in chat said this feels like a self-insult. No one knows who Demon Hunter is. I mean, they have their fan base. They are on tour. It's not exactly like they're in complete obscurity, but yes, and they're even saying right here, like, it's Netflix's fault that the band has been so overshadowed. It says, in addition to consumer confusion, as it grew in popularity, it's overwhelmed Demon Hunter in search results. If you search on Ticketmaster for Demon Hunter, it gets 3 K-pop Demon Hunters events before Demon Hunter comes up, which... What the hell? Okay, I don't understand this argument. I think this is the part where I have to zoom out a lot. Someone in chat said, you're right, this is deeply unserious. I promise I'm not trying to be obtuse. I really am not. The phrase Demon Hunter never appears by itself in any of Netflix's promo for K-pop Demon Hunters. Everything always says K-pop Demon Hunters. So if you, a Christian metal fan, are searching on Ticketmaster for I'm mixing them up because it is hard to say them back and forth 20 times. Searching on Ticketmaster, or I want tickets to see my favorite singer. I pressed the wrong button. And you're getting results for K-pop Demon Hunters, then yeah, obviously any confusion that results on that end would, I hate to say it, be your fault, basically. I don't know. I don't know of any other way of thinking about this. Reading chat. Someone in chat said they are probably suing just to get more exposure. They can't truly believe they have a shot at winning their case. And, you know, to be fair, if you just Google K-pop Demon Hunters lawsuit, yeah, it's certainly working. Reuters, The Guardian, Seattle Times, LA Times, the BBC, Entertainment Weekly, Complex. Everybody is talking about Demon Hunter now, which, if you expect me to believe, is just an unintended side effect of what seems to be such a ridiculous lawsuit. I got a bridge to sell you on God. Someone said, reading chat. You're more likely to get an AI book about K-pop Demon Hunters / Demon Hunters than the band. Okay, someone in chat said visually impaired people could mix up the two very easily. I would like to say I'm obviously not referring to edge cases. I'm saying if you are just reading a website and it says K-pop Demon Hunters and then you buy the tickets without stopping to ask why, that would be on you. Not that everybody has equal access to reading websites, etc. But I do think checks for accessibility is always a good thing. But that's not what's being argued in this lawsuit right here. Anyways, I don't want to go through this entire thing because they literally, I guess in an effort to pad this out, brought up any and every example of K-pop Demon Hunters ever coming up when people search for Demon Hunter. Oh, but actually one plot point that they had that I liked a lot was, because some people online do metal covers of K-pop Demon Hunters, then when people are searching for Demon Hunter, the metal band, they might get this K-pop cover in a metal style. And that's also why it's infringement. They link to, or they post pictures of K-pop Demon Hunters metal covers on Spotify with 13,000 saves, 2,000 saves, metal / rock covers. People on TikTok doing their best to sing Golden from K-pop Demon Hunters in a metal style. And I just... I don't really understand. One of the consequences of the increase of K-pop Demon Hunters related information and content online is that it has become increasingly difficult for consumers looking for Demon Hunter to find relevant information and purchase Demon Hunter goods and services. And basically, as the senior user of Demon Hunter with over 25 years of history, hard work, and investment into the Demon Hunter brand, Hyde Lane should be able to continue operating under the name it established without substantial confusion among consumers seeking the band's music, live performances, merchandise, and related activities. But due to the defendant's wrongful actions, Demon Hunter's established identity is becoming obscured within recorded music, live touring, and merchandise related channels due to overlapping use by the K-pop Demon Hunters brand. As a result of this willful misconduct, the brand that Hyde Lane has built over the past quarter century now faces an existential crisis, thereby necessitating the filing of this action and the granting of the requested relief from this court. Someone said I searched Demon Hunter on YouTube and the band was the first result. I do feel like this could go one of two ways, but I am actually a little curious. Well, if I search Demon Hunter, I'm just going to get the news story. Oh, chat. I mean, come on, man. I understand where they're coming from. I do think me just opening a new incognito tab, searching Demon Hunter, and immediately getting Demon Hunter the band isn't exactly working out in their favor. But you know, I actually have a little bit of a personal feeling on this. My name is D'Angelo. You may have noticed that from the channel name that's underneath this video somewhere on your screen. And I run into this a little bit because there are two entities, one of which I'm a big fan of, one of which I absolutely despise. The one I love would be D'Angelo, the singer. When you search D'Angelo by itself, you are obviously and understandably going to get the late, great neo soul icon D'Angelo. And I think that that's absolutely fair. And when I was starting on YouTube, I was getting drowned the hell out by D'Angelo search results. And I was like, well, dang, bro, this is my name. Like, I'm not going to change my name. I'm not going to switch it up. So I had the smart idea of like, okay, I'm just going to use my full name, obviously. I'm going to put D'Angelo Wallace, and then I should be much, much easier to find. No. Because what actually happened was when I started using my full name as my actual name online, I got results for The Wire, a show that has characters that are named both D'Angelo and Wallace. Hold on. D'Angelo Wallace, The Wire. Yeah, D'Angelo Barksdale and Wallace, who was played by Michael B. Jordan, actually, the 16-year-old drug dealer. So I was immediately still getting subsumed and eclipsed, as Demon Hunter says, by existing search results for other things. And what I'm getting at here is I just worked harder until my name came up. I was like, okay, then I'm just going to have to post better videos. Okay, I'm just going to have to work a little harder. I'm going to have to not get discouraged by this. And I guess if I want anybody to pay attention to me, I'm literally going to have to keep working until I'm making something worth finding. So forgive me for not having very much sympathy that they're like, oh no, a new, more popular Demon Hunter adjacent thing has come along and now people are having trouble finding me. I'm sorry, that's a skill issue. Anyways... I feel like that's mean, but I don't care because if I had to work hard, I think this band will be fine. I genuinely think they will. They will be okay. Reading chat. Someone said it takes work. Exactly. Yeah, what are we doing here? Before I kind of look at some of the more personal things going on with the band, which I must warn you are incredibly sus. I know that some people might start bringing up examples of established cease and desist / lawsuit issues and how those were handled. And I feel like if you do that, it actually makes it less likely that this would work out for them, because I don't exactly know what Netflix is supposed to do. For example, I don't know if you've ever heard of a rock band called Dinosaur Jr., right? But they kind of went through a really similar thing where there was already a band called Dinosaurs, and Dinosaur Jr. used to be named Dinosaur. So, I mean, I'm not going to lie, I actually can see how being a band named Dinosaur would obviously cause confusion for a band named Dinosaurs. And so Dinosaur Jr. had the brilliant idea of like, oh, let's just stick Jr. on there. A supergroup called Dinosaurs sued Dinosaur over the use of the name, prompting the addition of Jr. So what I'm asking here, and I'm genuinely asking this as somebody who doesn't know anything about legal stuff, if Dinosaur Jr. hilariously naming themselves Dinosaur Jr. is enough to save them from the copyright issues of being related to Dinosaur, how is K-pop Demon Hunters not different enough from Demon Hunter? I don't think that makes any sense. I see so many people saying, yeah, it causes confusion, but we have so many examples in the music world of very similar band names and their legal troubles being resolved just by making slight alterations. So I don't understand how K-pop Demon Hunters would not be a strong enough alteration, obviously, when it's not trying to be the same thing. Another example of that would be FKA Twigs. I don't know if y'all knew, but the FKA wasn't always part of her name. For over a decade, FKA Twigs has actually been in just under constant attack from this group called The Twigs, who really hated that she tried to go by Twigs as a single person. More than a decade ago, Talia Barnett added the FKA in front of her stage name Twigs. Presumably, this was to differentiate herself from The Twigs, a band comprising American twin sisters Laura and Linda Good. The Twigs filed a trademark claim against Twigs in 2014, but they dismissed it. Then in 2024, they got litigious again, peppering FKA Twigs with cease and desist letters, much to her dismay. She took legal action against the band, asking a judge to put a stop to the cease and desist so she could move forward in the process of trademarking the name FKA Twigs. Literally like, yo, court, can you please have them stop threatening me so I can just continue to protect my actual name, FKA Twigs, which I already changed and is not the Twigs. Her lawyer told the court it was, quote, inconceivable that any member of the relevant consuming public could confuse Barnett's offerings with those of the defendants or believe that the parties are affiliated or related to each other. And then the Twigs countersued her. I'm sorry. They kind of suck. They from the way that they handled this is so petty. They countersued her, and in their lawsuit they said she had used her fame to weaken, if not destroy, their trademark, including dropping the FKA from her name in some public appearances. And the band demanded Barnett stop performing under the name FKA Twigs, seeking a financial settlement, but that got dismissed. Now, notably, it got dismissed because essentially, if I understand this correctly, the judge was like, y'all literally let too much time pass between your original complaints and your current complaints. But it's also worth noting, pulling this right here, that the judge said the pleadings do not remotely support the inference that Barnett intended to promote confusion between herself and the Goods. In light of this ruling, Barnett can no longer be sued for infringing on the Twigs trademark. So again, I bring this FKA Twigs versus the Twigs thing up to say, what is gonna stop Netflix's lawyers from pointing to this and being like, how is this different? Because I don't understand that one at all. And like, it happens again and again. You had the band Death From Above, who wound up going by Death From Above 1979 because there was a Death From Above records, and that was apparently enough to differentiate them. They wound up obviously not getting in trouble anymore. Suede, which is a group, they're actually known as the London Suede in the United States because they were getting in trouble because of a singer whose name was Suede. Also, the very funniest example I found of this was from Santa Gold, which I don't know if y'all remember Santa Gold. Her stage name is actually based off of her actual name, Santi White, Santi Gold, right? But she used to go by Santo Gold with an O, and apparently that was pissing off somebody named Santo Victor Rigatuso, who produced the 1985 film Santo Gold's Blood Circus. And so she had to change the spelling, but he also released this song about it. Pulling this right here. Called I Am the Real Santo Gold, I guess. Let's see, pulling this right here. Volume. I literally can't believe this is a real song that exists.
Being stolen, spent millions on my name. I don't like my name being stolen, spent millions on my name. Santo Gold, cause I'm the real Santo Gold.
Why are copyright trolls always so bad at music? Anyways, that's not even relevant. I just brought that up because I laughed while looking into this a little bit, so I hope maybe you find this humorous as well. Someone said people are wild. It's a certain kind of person who does this, which is what's become clear to me, obviously. And whereas some of these might have been actual infringement, a lot of this is quite nonsensical. And if I could give you some good news, the number one happiest ending that happened in all of this copyright or trademark nonsense. And if I've been confusing the phrase copyright and trademark, I'm very sorry. It's not because I'm trying to be stupid. I just am stupid.
I'm the real Santo Gold. Now
oh,
you
God.
Can't say you haven't been told that I'm the real.
Why was it still playing? I hit pause. That was scary. Anyways, that was incredibly distracting. There was a band called The Beat, and then there was another band called The Beat as well. There was one in LA and one in Europe, and it says each band agreed to allow the other beat to operate uninterrupted in their respective homelands, but they had to change their name for gigs and marketing in each other's territory. So when the American The Beat played in Europe, they had to be the Paul Collins Beat, named after the lead singer and guitarist. And when the English version of The Beat played in North America, they had to be the English Beat. And then the two bands agreed to squash the beef, and they toured together in 2012, billing it as the two beats hurting. This is so stupid. The two beats harding as one tour, which I just think is hilarious and really just goes to prove like nothing has to be that serious. Someone says the English Beat is way bigger. And clearly they weren't too bothered by the existence of the other one. Anyways, okay, so hold on. Names, K-pop Demon Hunters, we talked about the tour, the metal band, the lawsuit, the merchandise being the issue, the willful infringement, Talk, Dinosaur Jr., FK, Twix, Santical, Death from Above, Suede. Okay, so yeah. So anyways, I went on a tangent here because I just became a little bit interested in this, but it leaves me asking, at the end of the day, Santi Gold and Santo Gold is enough of a difference. The English beat versus the other beat is fine. How exactly is K-pop Demon Hunters, pulling my other picture right here, not different enough from Demon Hunter? I don't understand. and I really, really don't see how this is going to work out for them. Someone said, I'm so mad the Santo Gold song is still playing in my head. Don't speak that over me. I don't want that playing in my head either. I'm very sorry. I didn't want to be responsible for that, for real. Anyways, one thing that I saw come up a lot while looking into this is a lot of people saying, like, the Demon Hunter, the band, not K-pop Demon Hunters, they're just like weird Nazis anyway. And I was like, that's a really strong claim. I certainly hope people are not just saying this because you're like, oh, Christian metal band, etc. But no, let me show you what I found when I tried to verify this. So none of this is currently online right now, but yes, a couple years ago on the metalcore subreddit, somebody said the Demon Hunter lead guitarist Patrick Judge is posting anti-Semitic and white supremacist stuff on Twitter. I don't even want to post the link. I've noticed him drifting off the deep end for a while, but he went all in today. And then a separate user, this is two witnesses, says, oof, he also has a screen cap of a Nick Fuentes tweet in his Instagram story talking about Groypers, a literal neo-Nazi group. What the F is with people in this scene being okay with Nazis lately? And you literally have no one in here is disagreeing with this or saying this isn't true. You guys are lying. It very much does seem like at one point the lead guitarist was absolutely posting Nick Fuentes adjacent neo-Nazi stuff on Twitter, which is like, what? Someone right here was asking at the time for sources, which are of course still not online. And someone said, you can see who he follows. He follows a page called Jews Are the Problem. There's literally sirens in the background right now. I don't know if you can hear them, but sorely needed. Someone said, so not hard to confirm OP's assertion. And yeah, I hate that for them. So I know it's probably wrong of me to say I just hope they lose on principle, but on God, I just hope they lose on principle. Another rumor that I see people saying is like, this one's kind of wild. Demon Hunter's music was used by the United States military to torture people. That is more of a he said type thing. It's literally on their Wikipedia page, reported use by the military. According to an Esquire interview in February 2013, after Metallica requested that the US military stop using their music during interrogations in Iraq, Demon Hunter allegedly contacted the US military offering their music as an alternative, which was accepted. A Navy SEAL who claimed to have killed bin Laden was quoted as saying, "We stopped using Metallica's music, and then Demon Hunter got in touch and said, 'We're all about promoting what you do.' They sent us CDs and patches. I wore my Demon Hunter patch on every mission. I wore it when I blasted bin Laden." This is crazy, bro. The day after the story broke, Demon Hunter addressed this by saying they did approve of U.S. servicemen wearing their patch, but did not volunteer their music, nor did they have any knowledge of it being used for these purposes. Again, I'm literally not more likely to believe the United States military than I am this shady band, so that's very much a maybe, maybe not. But I do have to say I did kind of get sickened by their response. They did say, "We are honored," Demon Hunter, the band said, "We're honored, humbled, and blessed that Demon Hunter was of any support to or comfort to SEAL Team 6 or anyone in the U.S. military at any time." So yeah, they said, no, we didn't say yes to this, but they were also like, if it did happen, though, we don't really care. Hell yeah. Weird group of people. Demon Hunter, very strange collection of individuals. Very much making, not doing the Christian rock scene any favors at all. So just throwing that out there, because if I didn't, I'd probably have people in the comments being like, their music was used to torture people by the U.S. military. Someone said that ain't it, Chief. It's not it at all. In conclusion, one thing that I'm seeing a lot of is like, well, they have to sue. I'm just pulling this from a random Reddit post. You have to protect your trademarks or they go away. Even if the court says they're different enough, you sometimes have to go through the trouble of getting a court to say that they're different enough. And no, excuse me. You don't have to sue frivolously to protect your trademark. That's not exactly how that works. Yes, unfortunately, a certain level of litigiousness is actually encouraged by the way that the system is set up. But I just think a lot of people saying this are kind of thinking it's making things valid. But like, I feel like this comment put it the best. If there was a K-pop queens, could they get sued by Queen? Obviously not. That's just not how this works. So there's no way K-pop Demon Hunter is valid for being sued by Demon Hunter. And also, if I think anything is going to come of this at all, Netflix would probably just reword this at best. And instead of naming it the K-pop Demon Hunters World Tour, they could just be like Huntrix from K-pop Demon Hunters World Tour. Because they already refer to the band this way across all of their They refer to the band this way across all of their promo. Tadam is Netflix's website. So I just don't even think this is as big of a deal. I don't think there's going to be any real ramifications there. Reading chat. Someone says if this was the case, fanfiction would be so much more sued, so much more. Yeah, it, in my layperson opinion, would be a pretty bad thing if the suit was to work out, because that just seems to open the floodgates for so many problems. So very many problems. But yeah, I'm not a lawyer, and that's just my read on things. There are definitely people who know more about this, and maybe Demon Hunter will win against Netflix. I'm certainly not waiting with bated breath, but yeah. Someone said Huntrix Don't Quit Tour. Yeah, there's an infinite number of names Netflix could go with beyond this. I will say this, by the way, as a little asterisk. I don't automatically agree with large corporations when it comes to their usage of copyright stuff in the first place. I actually feel like I'm much more likely to err against, or on the side against them, because I really, really hate how copyright tends to favor the larger entities when it comes to this versus the smaller ones. But in this specific case, I don't exactly see Netflix slam dunking this as an example of the problem that does currently exist within the whole trademark / copyright realm, is my take on that. Anyways, that's all I've got. Does anybody else have anything that they want to say? I did my best to try to talk about it in a way that was like fun. As you see, as I said before, there's really not much here. Like, bro, what do they think is going to happen? This is going to get tossed out so quickly. In fact, I'm going to be really mad if it gets tossed out before I put this video up. But I don't think that's going to happen. I really don't. Someone in chat says it really seems like neo-Nazi clout chasing. It doesn't not seem that way, is what I would say about that. Yes, I must agree. Someone said K-pop Santo Gold. Okay, stop. Please, no. Remember the real Santo Gold. Maybe that's the moral of the story. Someone said waiting for Huntrix from Winx to get involved. Someone said this is the most delicious of nothing burgers. Yes, indeed. I love me a good nothing burger every now and then. Someone said don't be anti-Semitic. Yeah, maybe all neo-Nazi adjacent people stop making music and posting things and having neo-Nazi opinions, please. Thanks. I think that would be great too. Reading chat. Someone says right before you said that, I thought, I can't believe I'm sort of on Netflix's side. I think if anything, it's less me being on Netflix's side and me being on the side of this lawsuit should not happen. Netflix still sucks majorly. They're so bad, actually. Santo Gold on Ox 24/7. Okay, someone said I missed the Nazi stuff. You definitely did, but don't worry, it will be in tomorrow's video. I'm gonna go ahead and record an outro. I'm not leaving though yet. I'm not leaving yet. Everybody say goodbye real fast while I drink some water, and I'm gonna record an outro. Someone said I love hearing you talk about stuff that doesn't matter. It's literally my favorite thing to talk about. I enjoy it so much. And I feel like it really comes through. I get so excited with these type of topics. Anyway, that's about all I have to say about Demon Hunter. Hopefully you never have to think about this band ever again. I know I will certainly try not to, but yeah, I actually recorded this video live right here on YouTube, where I stream quite frequently, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 12 p.m. Eastern time, unless of course I don't, in which case I'm probably just, I don't know, sleeping. But yeah, hopefully I see you in the next stream or the next video, and if not, that doesn't matter at all. Okay, bye. Okay, so good, so good, so stupid, and so good. Those are the streams I like to do, bro. Okay, and then from here, we're gonna close. So many tabs. So many tabs. Oh my god. Oh, it's my outline. Don't tell anybody. Can y'all believe on God that I get 50 minutes of content out of outlines like these? Low key. I'm kind of good at this. I used to have to write really like long, big outlines that would just like go on and on and on. But nowadays, after I do my initial research, I realized I was tripping myself up with a lot of my outlines because I was not. You might even remember if you caught my streams a few months ago, I was like, oh god, I can't find this because my outline is too long. So I've generated, using my brain, not AI, generated shorter versions of them where I clip everything out and then I just treat it more as like performance art, which is a very pretentious way of putting it. Someone said one page. Literally, I went off of one page for 50 minutes. Now imagine what's going to happen if I had like a 2-page outline. We might literally be here for like 4 hours. We might. This is not even a full page, by the way. This is literally half a page. And we might literally be here for 4 hours a day. I show up with a 2-page outline. You don't want that, trust me. Or maybe you do. It might be fun. But yeah, I enjoy my stupid little human created videos because it's not hard to do. I am so tired of AI everything all everywhere. I've only gotten more stubborn, and I enjoy the fact that I'm able to do this live so people can literally see I'm going off of human vibes over here, bro. Some people left still care about this. Someone said one page and chat contribution 50 minutes. Yes, chat had a lot of good things I stopped to read too. You certainly padded this out as well. And then, to be fair, when I put up my videos, I cut the fluff, and they're typically only anywhere from 20, I think I'm aiming for 25 to 35 minutes, because I don't really like a circular video. And I'm a very circular type of person. It's how I think. It's part of my neurodivergence. And so like, I'm not even usually mad at people who make videos that kind of go this way, but I always want to just like cut things out. I don't want them to be like repetitive. I just wanted to skip along from point to point to point. And yeah, I quite like the way my videos have been turning out recently. I think they're pretty good. Someone said AI could never outdo my ADHD hyperfixated essays. Literally, like, what's even the point? AI can't do this live. And until the day it can, I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. And that's on period. That's on period. Someone said they're super concise. I could never edit all this. Editing is fun because I basically just chop. And if I think something is a little funny, but not too funny, I chop it. And if I'm like, oh, maybe I should chop it. That's what editing is for me. Chop, 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 chop. I usually cut out well over half of anything that I'm talking about in a video. I see a lot of people asking about the Love Island video. Yeah, I've only said this one time, so I'll say it again because probably many of you weren't there, but I am literally still working on it, but I also just had a bunch of life stuff happen, and it's not just me. I feel like everybody's going through it low key, but yeah, I sadly have, bro, I'm actually struggling a little bit. But what I told myself is prioritize the things that are important to you. And what's most important to me is just being able to continue doing what I'm doing. So I'm going to keep trying to make good videos over here. And as much time as I can dedicate towards things outside of this, I will do it. But if I'm being quite honest with you, most of my life outside of what you're seeing, besides my hobbies and stuff, has literally just been me being like this. I think this is how I've been going throughout my day. Like, I wake up and I just kind of feel like, and then I have some work to do, obviously. So I will do some work. I'll look at whatever outline I need to tighten up before today's stream, and I'll do that. And then I'll come on stream and I'm like, yay, happy. And then I end the stream and I'm just like, and then I'm like, oh, wait, it's a beautiful day outside. Joke. It's actually super hot here in North Carolina. It hasn't been beautiful in weeks. So I'm going to go for a run, and I'm going for a run, and I'm out there for like 30 minutes. I'm just enjoying my life. I'm like, oh, this is so lovely. And then I come inside, I shower, and then I'm just like, and I'm like, oh, I can go to a book club. Yeah. So I'm going to read an entire novel in my spare time, and I'm doing that. And then after the book club's over, I come home and sit on the couch, and I'm just like, womp, womp, womp. So against my best wishes, that has been my life for the past few weeks. And unfortunately, it's begun encroaching in me trying to do things outside of here. Like, I'm trying to work on the Love Island video, and I've been trying to like write or finish these songs I've been working on. And I just, oh my God. I'm so tired, but we all have to do our job when we're tired. So that's why I've been putting hella energy into these 14 videos a month, and I will continue to be doing that because, you know, we still got to do our best regardless of this. But yeah, I can't wait to feel happier and more energetic at some point. I'm sure it's going to happen. I think I just need weird things to stop happening. Someone said, yeah, I've been feeling really weird too and unmedicated. Oof. Well, I'm sure the unmedicated isn't helping, but yeah, there's something in the air, something in the water. Like, I don't know what's going on, baby. A lot of people are saying you all can take a break. I mean, I could take a break, but you know, I'm fine. I think the thing is, like, there's been times in my life where I felt like this and I couldn't take a break. I just had to keep working anyway. And this is kind of similar to that, but like, it's all good. I'm happy here and now. I'm happy most of the time, but I think I've just been shooting for like 51% happiness at this point. I was flying real high earlier in the year, but at this point, I think if I could get like at least half of my conscious minutes were not spent actively miserable, I'm counting that as a win. I really, really, really am. Someone said, I thought it was just me. No, don't worry. It's not just you. I mean, and also, by the way, massive portions of the entire world have also been dealing with like crazy heat waves, and that's going to wind up draining your energy. And then we keep getting a bunch of horrible news, and things certainly aren't getting better politically at the moment. So I feel like it almost makes sense in a way. But yes, those are all my excuses for why, if you get this Love Island video, it's actually going to be incredibly late compared to what I said, which I shouldn't have said in the first place. I just had so much energy when I said it. Wah, wah, wah. Someone said, I feel like the heat this year has fried our brain. It certainly fried mine, man. Like, what is going on? What's going on? Someone says, anyone else just daydream and stare out into the distance? Bro, I'd be a big middle distance starer. I'm just like looking at nothing. On God, I'll just be looking at nothing. I do it a lot when I'm running too, especially if I have to be on the treadmill against my will. I'm just like literally looking out into the middle distance. It's wild. Someone said sometimes it's hard to get going living alone. Oof, internal motivation. Yeah, when it's just you holding yourself accountable is not the easiest thing, but we've got this though. We look at how many days we've done. You know, the year has been going on for a while. It's already the end of August. So like I've been hanging in there, and I think everyone is doing as best as they can, which I appreciate. Someone said, I knew you shouldn't have mentioned the release date, but I never took you seriously. Good. That's the right thing to do. If I ever say a date, just be happy when things happen at all. I'm so bad with dates. I'm so bad with dates. And you would kind of think low key after like 27 years of ADHD nonsense, and a significant portion of those actually being helped with like therapy and medication, that I would somehow get better at incredibly simple things like, oh, I'm just going to use this massive period of time to work on this thing and then put it out when I say I'm going to. But it's just annoying how there are definitely some ways in which I literally never get better. A lot of things are better than they would be otherwise, but then you have simple things like this of like, oh, just hit one release date, and I can't. It's so bad too when you have other people who are actually relying on it too, because I don't know if y'all know, but a lot of the sponsored videos that I post on my main channel, or posted on my main channel, they were all late. If you guys ever are like really, really deep into commentary and you follow multiple commentary channels, and you will notice a bunch of them going live towards the end of the month, that's because everybody's under contract and they don't want their brand deals to be canceled. So you have to post by the 31st. But if you ever notice like, oh, this person posted, this person posted, that person posted, and then I post sometime next week, it's literally because I was like on my knees begging the brand, like, sorry, I just can't turn this video in. I can't put up a good video, and I can't put up a bad video, and I can't finish this on time. So I guess you're either going to have to alter your entire budget for me or cancel the brand deal. Haha, sorry, don't care. And a lot of times I was able to just beg the brand to let me post past what we contractually agreed upon, because I'm just so bad with deadlines. I'm just so bad with deadlines. I think the very last thing I'm going to do is probably, like, for my final trick, I'm going to show up late to my own funeral for sure. They're going to be like, this joint started at 10 a.m. Where is he? I'm like, oh, sorry, I forgot to die. Oops. I had set a reminder and then I slept through it. My bad. But yeah, no, it really, really be like that, unfortunately. But that's okay. We thrive nonetheless. That's why I've been very, like, just lucky that I have a job where it's not the end of the world if things don't happen exactly when I thought they would. Sometimes I hate deadlines. Yeah, and then it doesn't help that because my experience of deadlines has always been a feeling of failure. They've become irrevocably associated with deep anxiety in my mind. And so now there being a date attached to anything is enough to instantly send me into having actual panic attacks. But that's fine. That's nobody else's problem. That's my problem. So I try really hard to just work on that and not let other people freak out just because I'm freaking out. Drinking more water, always more water. Someone said the difficulties are so frustrating, but many of your great ideas have probably come from your struggles too. Honestly, no. I will honestly say, like, on God, I just don't think we got to suffer to make good artwork. I really, really don't think so. And that's not what you said, but it just kind of pushed me into a different train of thought of, like, there's maybe some things that I could talk about with more perspective because of unfortunate experiences I've had. But as far as me being an artist or a creative person or just a maker of things, I would be just as good if I didn't also go through a bunch of terrible, terrible stuff. I used to think of my cocktail of abbreviations, ADHD, depressive disorder, whatever, as like being like, yeah, that's really gonna like be some internal source for me to draw upon. But then that had the very negative ramification of me subconsciously not wanting to get better. Excuse me. And that was like, oops. I don't want to rely on everything bad that I'm experiencing so deeply that I secretly wish for it to continue happening. So I started trying to see the value in myself as a maker of things completely separate from the mental health condition aspect of it. And now I'm like, no, honestly, I could be completely like medicated, therapied, everything, and actually have mostly good days and still make really good stuff. That's what I tell myself. And so trying to mine all of that trauma for art, for what? There's no point. Truly, truly no point. Someone says he's always running out of time. Oh my God, how dare you quote that Paramore song, the anthem for me, for real. And someone said, did I miss the topic? You did, but don't worry because I am going to put up a video about it tomorrow. So, or you could just go back if you want to. Someone said, not even in art. I just don't think we need to suffer in general. People say, but now you're stronger, but wasn't necessary when there were better options. Yes. I'm a strong believer in that when people say suffering builds character, okay, cool. There's other ways to build character. There's other ways to build character. I didn't actually need to experience all of this nonsense that I've experienced for so many years just so I could become a stronger, more capable, and beautiful person. Yes, it did kind of result in me forcibly becoming stronger because otherwise I wouldn't have survived. But like my brother in Christ, there are other ways. And so, yeah, I'm not a big fan of this, like, oh, suffering is just tests from the universe to turn you into the true version of yourself. Baby, I want to live in complete comfort and still be a good and capable person. I want to live every single day genuinely happy. Actually, I'm just going to say it point blank period. I don't want anything bad or uncomfortable to ever happen to me. And that's okay. Especially me being a man. Everybody has their own version of this. I'm not saying I have it worse or better. I'm just saying as a man, I really had to come to that conclusion of just like, it's okay for me to never want to really be pushed in a way that's harming me or difficult. It would be fine if I was just content every single day of my life and I would still deserve everything I have. Someone said we deserve it. We deserve it. So yeah, that was part of me unpacking like toxic. We were just talking about toxic masculinity. My goofy toxic masculine ideal of like strong men are made through suffering. And I was like, oh, I guess this is just my purpose or whatever. But like, no. And everybody has a version of that, by the way. It's not just men, but I can only speak to what I experienced. What do I know? Not much. Someone said unnecessary suffering creates trauma. Yeah, exactly. Like, okay, so you might have got something that you think is good out of it, even though that was just you. That wasn't the suffering. What about all the bad things that you got out of it? Were they worth it? I don't really think so. I really, really don't. Someone says sometimes suffering builds the best character, though. That doesn't mean that character could not have been built any other way, is what I'm getting at. I think, like, even as cringe and annoying as I feel like massive parts of my life have been, I wouldn't necessarily change them because I like where I am right now, but I'm still aware that it didn't really have to be this way. It really, really did not. So I've suffered enough, thank you. Yeah, like, let's just be happy. Sometimes I think a healthy amount of strife is actually good for you. Friction, if you will. Friction, yes. You should, as a person, be able to, I think, bounce back from things. So certainly you're going to run into scenarios where you don't have control over everything, and that's going to make you a little bit uncomfortable, and you should be able to reach within and figure out how to move forward from there. I just don't think that's the same thing as suffering, per se. I don't think you should live such a cushy life that, like, unironically nothing hard ever happens, and because then you're not going to be okay when bad things inevitably do happen to you. But still, I just think there's a certain lightness on one's feet you can attain even without it being beaten into you by the state of your life. That's how I feel, honestly. So I got more good out of bad from my severe bullying experience, but I still would not opt for that. Yes, you understand. You understand where I'm coming from, on God. Surviving versus thriving. Yeah, I want to thrive. Let me thrive, please. Someone says, does the normalization of suffering allow us to not question the symptoms oppressing us as the lower class? Can I say yes without even finishing reading that? Oh man, especially by the way, when my struggles were like financial in the beginning, and I was unfortunately rationalizing all of that as like, oh, well, yeah, I just have to grind. That's why I'm currently poor and can't afford anything. This is just a test from the universe, and if I grind hard enough, I'll learn something, and I'll look back on this and be so happy. No, I should have just had enough resources to live on my own. It wasn't good, actually, that I was in that predicament, and it's not good that anybody is. But yeah, we have an insane glorification of, oh, you should be experiencing hard things, and it's because you build your way up into, I'm talking about this from an American centric perspective, the perfect American dream where you start from rags and you go to riches. But then obviously you look and you see that literally never really happens in the way that we say it does. So yeah, I would have to agree with you. Someone said, wait, stop, you're calling me out. We definitely deserve better than society would lead us to believe. I think I do. I really do. Someone said, preach, we should all have enough to live. Yeah, and at the end of the day, if that opinion makes me a socialist, a communist, which I'm actually not opposed to either of those labels, leftist extremist, then call me a leftist extremist. I believe that no matter what, everybody should have enough resources to live on this planet, no matter what they are, quote unquote, contributing in your mind. Even the very concept of contribution is ableist. I'm just being honest. And I will just never stop saying that. Just like, it doesn't, I'm not, people say this and you're like, oh, you think Bill Gates should move out of his mansions and invite the masses in there. That's not what I'm saying. Nobody should have to worry about the roof or the food or the water or the healthcare that they need to live. But the fact that we all do has made everything so strange and annoying, and makes it so difficult to even organize in meaningful ways in the first place against this hierarchical system in the first place. But that's okay. What am I supposed to do about that? I mean, I am doing things about that, but like, you know, not in the short term, I guess. Someone says, what did I miss? Kpop Demon Hunters is getting sued. Yes, I talked all about it. Don't even sweat it, though. You could either go back or just wait till tomorrow. I'll put the video out for you. Someone says nobody should own so much money either. Yeah, no, agreed strongly. This whole billionaire thing, I'm over it. We gotta start there, and then we can work our way down. I mean, there's some people who aren't billionaires but still have hundreds of millions of dollars, and they don't need that either. But we could start at the top. We really could. Someone said there's no reason for the imbalance. We have enough to supply and support. There's objectively no reason for the imbalance. It's just it's hierarchical. It's unfair. It's not right. I agree with you strongly. Someone says you can't change the whole world by yourself, but you can't change the whole world by yourself, which is why I try to devote appropriate amounts of thought to this. Certainly not all of my energy, because I'd be running out of energy, as I talked about a few minutes ago. I really could. Someone said K-pop Demon Hunters isn't even the name of the band. We had this whole conversation, but you are absolutely correct. Your gut feeling is right. It very much is. Someone said, D'Angelo, music has been so whack lately and you have good taste. Any recommendations? What are you listening to? Admittedly, I've mostly been listening to older music. So I don't really have I don't really have like an example of something new that's popping that I think, but you know what? I'll make a recommendation that I already gave because it's literally so good, and I just feel like not enough people are talking about it. Actually, I'll give you three albums. One of them or two of them I've already promoted before, but I am still listening to them. And one of them I don't think I've talked about yet. So, wait, I have to search this because the album cover has artistic nudity on it, which is fine, but YouTube is going to get really annoyed by that, which is pissing me off. Okay, yes. Here it is. To whom this may concern. Jill Scott. Okay, yeah. So I thought that the new Jill Scott album was lit as hell. Jill Scott, for those of you who don't know, honestly, R&B legend. She came out earlier this year with, after a 10-year hiatus, I'm pretty sure, according to this Instagram post, with some new music, wall to wall bangers. I mean, they weren't bangers in the sense that like they're gonna get the whole club popping, but the instrumentation was so good. She literally sounds so good across this entire project. I honestly think that was one of the best albums dropped this year. Someone say it is lit as hell. Dude, it's so good. So listen to Whom This May Concern by Jill Scott if you want some R&B vibes. If you are more so looking for like pop, I will give you Dancing on the Wall by Muna. This is one that I have talked about before. I just don't really know how it was legal for them to put like crack in this album, but they did it. There's something illegal laced within the production of this entire thing. A lot of the production, by the way, which is done by Naomi McPherson, who is non-binary representation icon. Let's go. MB music producers unite. But listen, on God, this is such a good pop album. I've always liked Muna, but I've never been a Muna album person. Well, I don't know how many other projects they have, but like I've more been like a fan of their singles and stuff like that. So when this one came out, each single that they dropped was so fire. I kept thinking, oh God, I'm gonna like this entire album, aren't I? And yep, it happened. I like this entire album. Production, flawless. Katie's voice, flawless. Everything, perfect. Love it. It's great. Also, if you are into like queer music, the entire album's, it's very gay. So that's probably a massive plus for many of you. And then the last thing I will recommend is this is the newest album that I've actually been excited about. Someone said I listened to this last week. It's great. It really is. The Thread by Willow Smith. Yes, Nepo baby recommendation. Gasp. Dude, on God. I think like I'm literally just like a cat or something, and Willow Smith's musical stylings are catnip to me at this point. But she has a lot of albums actually, but this one is really a great introduction or a great addition to her discography. It has such beautiful tracks, man. She Is My Religion, Talk on That Hill is a really beautiful track. There's this one towards the end. Oh, The Present Moment I think is my favorite one on there. And I could get you into this. Do y'all like Aurora? Do you like Aurora? Because the dude, a dude who has produced a lot of Aurora's recent music, Chris Grady, is all over this album. So if you have been into the things that Aurora has been doing in her solo music, you probably are predisposed to enjoying The Thread by Willow. It's just great, man. It's fantastic. But yeah, I think I like almost every single track on here. Actually, so yeah, those are my 3 album recommendations. But then me being me, I just go back and listen to a bunch of like game soundtrack music and stuff like that. Honestly, I try to get into new things and it doesn't always work out for me, so I've taken what I can get for sure. Da, 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 da. Someone says, I will be listening to that later. OMG. Yeah. I think between the 3 albums I've listed, The Thread by Willow, To Whom This May Concern, Jill Scott, or Dancing on the Wall by Muna, those are all 3 very different angles. So you could probably find at least one track that you like between those. I don't want to give too many recommendations because then it's overwhelming. But yeah, there's been some bangers, okay? Some people are still cooking this year, thankfully. People have been cooking on God, and I appreciate that. Someone says She's My Religion is also the title of an excellent Pale Wave song. Yes, she's cold, she's dark, she's cynical, she's forever angry at the world. I love Pale Waves. You ever heard of Pale Waves? Bro, they're so good. She's My Religion is a great song. I think I pretty much like all of their songs. Television Romance. There's a Honey, obviously, is good. Television Romance. That song is so catchy. I really like Heather's voice, and yeah, also a very gay band as well. I don't know what's up with all this queer music being so fun, but it is. What can I say? Reading chat. Someone said me making my playlist for work tomorrow. Yeah, I will say I haven't kept up with Pale Waves as much, but I would totally. It's not through any fault of their own. I mostly liked them maybe like in the late 2010s, early 2020s. So I need to go back and see what they've even been up to, honestly, because they're so fire. So fire. Someone says, why do you have so few tabs? I closed all my tabs. I had very many tabs open. You know me, I always have like 50. Someone says, do you listen to Hemlock Springs? Oh, I literally recommend The Apple Tree Underneath the Sea to everyone. To everyone. Everybody should listen to The Apple Tree Beneath the Sea by Hemlock Springs. It's great. And probably all of her other music, but at least that album because it's very solid. Someone said the Linda Lindas are coming out with their new album soon. They're great. I've heard great things about the Linda Lindas. I saw someone else mention the Marias. That's pretty great too. What else do we got? Someone said, do you know Rochelle Jordan? Maybe by name, but I couldn't tell you their music, so I should go find some. I like Rachel Chinariri. Y'all know her? I feel like she's great. If you're looking for more of a... Can I say soft rock? Does that make sense? Like a soft rock sound. Oh, let me spell correctly and not like a goofus. Yeah, Rachel's music is dope, bro. It's super hot fire. Oh, and also, I'm very excited because Remy Wolf is coming back, I think. I would imagine so. She released a track called Twiggy, which was super fun, super great, very, very grody. It has a really banger bridge, and I like a great bridge. So yeah, I think people have been cooking for sure. And I'm very excited about it. I really, really am. Someone says pop rock vibes at times for her. It's so charming. Yeah, Chinariri is like lit. She's so good, man. It's stupid good. Someone says, have you ever listened to Natanya? I don't think so, but I would. Heck yeah, I would. Someone said new Remy Wolf album. Dude, I'm psyched. Remy is great. Someone said listen to Dancing Elephants by Rochelle Jordan then. I will. I absolutely will. Have I listed like a single dude? I'd be like Remy, Pale Waves, Jill, Willow, Muna, Rachel, Hemlock Springs. Orville Peck is coming back or is back. I don't remember which one. I don't know if you guys like country music, but Orville Peck is fun. I won't lie, I don't super listen to Orville Peck myself, but from what I have heard, he definitely has a distinctive voice and a lot of people love his music. So if you want a cowboy vibe, go check that out. Someone said try the Womack sisters. Oh, bro, they're so cool. Okay, they are very, very new to me. Well, I think they're new in general, right? Like they hardly had any music before this. So like they very much come from a musical family, but like they are so soulful, bro. On God, just watch any of their performances. I'm so happy that music like this is blowing up, honestly, because I feel like it's deserved, very well deserved. It's so great. Someone says I love going to see Orville. Heck yeah. Someone said there's not a ton of new male artists that I like at the moment. New male artists. Well, I mean, like, I don't like Benson Boone, and I don't like Alex Warren, and I don't like Somber, and I don't like. I can't even think of anyone else. What's that one guy? Audrey Hobart's brother. I think that's a human. Malcolm Todd? No, that's a different person. Audrey Hobart's brother. Oh, I am talking about Malcolm Todd. Okay, great. I'm not actually a big fan of Malcolm Todd either. Even though I don't think either of these people are necessarily bad people. I'm not being, bro, they're not grabbing me. You gotta grab me with your music. And I just feel like I keep clicking into these songs and I'm just like, you're supposed to be grabbing me. Like, I think the thing that bothered me actually is I got introduced to Malcolm Todd in the wrong context. Maybe some of you are like, wait, D'Angelo, not too much on Malcolm Todd. I really love him. But what had happened was I was introduced to Malcolm Todd via this Gap ad literally 2 weeks ago, where for some reason, unbeknownst to me, he's covering this Robin song. And I'm just a hater because Robin's one of my favorite artists. And I was like, what is this? So this, and funnily enough, this isn't even the only time somebody has covered this specific, or some guy has covered this specific Robin song. And I've been like, why? Why? I see people saying Mike Sabbath. I don't know who that is off the top of my head. Someone said Mag Bay amazing. Magdalena Bay is so good. But anyways, yeah, I'm sure there's dudes out there popping off, and I just need to try harder, but I'm not going to. But I'm not going to. If I'm being quite honest with you. Cave Town. I like Cave Town. There's a dude for you all. I saw he put out a new track. I don't remember. Oh yeah, Big Strong Man. This one was really good. I don't know what he's up to, if that means new album type stuff or whatever, but yay. Somebody. I love it. Someone said Infinity Song is a co-ed band. Oh, they're so dope. Infinity Song is like these four siblings. Hold on. They went a little viral on TikTok because they had a song like It Feels So Good to Be a Hater or whatever the lyrics are. It was a very, like, people thought it was a funny song, but actually low-key I feel like the lyrics are kind of deep. But Infinity Song, man, they are so good. I just really love the way, like, their voices work with each other, their musical talent, their visuals that they serve every single time are so simple but so effective. Massive Infinity Song fans over here. Such a big fan. Someone says, I know that, the Hater song. Yeah, that one was all over TikTok. Someone said Hurricane by Infinity Song so good. Yeah, I like the Hater song, but I'm pretty sure I like all of their music, honestly. It's so good. And someone said, if you like pop punk or like jazz elements, I'm a huge fan of Jiraiya. Well, I do. So I could check that out for sure. Someone said they look drippy. Infinity Song is very drippy. I would have to agree with you. Someone said, I recommend the duo Holt and Freddie. Oh, I heard like On God one song by them, and I told myself I need to find more because every single picture I've ever seen of Holt and Freddie, they look like crazy drippy. Look at this. I've only ever seen just like random pictures of them, and I don't know why I see more pictures of them than their actual music or something, but every single time they've ever popped up, I'm like, what am I missing here? This seems like we could start a religion off of this for sure. So yeah, just solely based off of this band's visual, I am going to give their music a shot. It's not you have to be doing a lot with your visuals for me to actually want to listen to you based off of how you look, but I do. I feel like if I'm in such awe of their aesthetic, probably surely some of that would translate audibly too, especially because I don't mind 80s synth pop vibes at all. Someone says now I want to listen. Seriously though. Reading chat. So it said Noah Khan. Oh, I like him. Okay, look, wait, hold on. Some of the dudes are okay. Okay. Some of the dudes are okay. I think Noah Khan's really great. Actually, I think he's a very, very, very good songwriter. Orange Juice by Noah Khan makes me want to cry really, really bad. I don't know why. I've been trying to like get over this song for 4 years for some reason, and it doesn't work. I don't know why. I don't even think the lyrics are like particularly crazy or anything like that. But yeah, he's real good at what he does. That's sort of, it's like stomp, clap, hey adjacent music, I won't lie to you, but he tones it down and brings it into a darker space most of the time, which I appreciate. I really, really do. Someone said, I didn't think Noah would be your style. I only have one genre of music that I don't listen to. There's only one. I listen to all genres of music other than Nashville country. Yeah, I literally cannot stand this style of country music at all. It's not that I don't like country. That's actually an amazing genre full of great artists. Dolly Parton, hello. But like literally, I just even though I guess technically you could probably slot many of the artists I do like under this sound, because I mean, Dolly, where is she from? Dolly Parton, where is she from? Okay, whatever. So she might be from Tennessee. I don't care. She's the exception. She is my only exception. I just don't really like the contemporary Nashville sound. I feel like the older stuff was actually fine, but the things that play on country radio nowadays, God, I really don't like them. At all. So yeah, I never ever listen to this on purpose because I don't like it. But any other genre, folk, country, jazz, rap, rock, pop, classical, you can even get me into a little bit. I might struggle, but I try. I really, really do. Someone said Paramore reference noticed. Hey, it's always a good time to whip out a Paramore quote. Someone said, Dancel, can I put you on to K-pop R&B? It's peak, I promise. You can try. I like some R&B K-pop songs. I think a couple streams ago mentioned She Is by Junghyun. That one's pretty great. There's a lot of K-pop R&B that's very fun, very fun. Someone says, do you have any takes on the new Charlie album? Oh, Music, Fashion, Film by Charlie XCX. Fashion, Film. It was certainly not as bad as some people are saying, is how I feel about this album. But it wasn't my style of music at all. Even though I actually strangely did like rock music. But what I don't like is like a lot of spoken word stuff, or like just kind of, I don't know how to describe it, but it's all very like raw demo kind of vibe based stuff that she and her collaborators are doing on this project. And so I just wound up not enjoying it. I did see a lot of people though kind of act like she just completely forgot how to make good music at all, and she's reverted and this music is terrible. And I was like, I thought I just didn't like it. That's me, I guess, is how I feel about that one. Someone said, high key, I don't really like the new album, but I like rock music as well. Yeah. Oh, snap. Wait, I forgot. Hold on. Wait. I can't believe we had this entire conversation without me mentioning this album. This is the one. New Avatar by Kalela. This is the right answer. I mean, in some ways, I sometimes feel like Kalela is the right answer to like everything. You know what I mean? I have no idea where my tabs are going at this point. And I can get you into this. If you like Pink Pantheress, which would probably be a significant portion of you. She's very popular and I enjoy her music as well. Just Google the Pink Pantheress Kalela song, The Bridge, and watch this very cool, very moody music video and see how dope this whole vibe is. New Avatar is so good, and I loved it. I mean, I'm just a fan of all of Kalela's music. I won't lie to you, but yeah, the Pink Panthers joint is fire. The whole album is good. Let's go. Someone said not the new Steve Lacy album. I didn't listen to that yet, but I definitely will. I'm not a Steve Lacy hater by any means. Someone said it's so moody and beautiful. Yes, Kalela is very much like, even though I literally just said I don't like vibe specific music, but I like this vibe. This is a vibe that I can get behind for sure. Someone said Kalela changed my life. I can't even lie. I literally just used to listen to her music on the bus and just pretend like I was disintegrating. It was a fantastic experience. 10 out of 10. Would recommend just going places to take me apart. Someone said search up Red Velvet R&B songs and you will float to some of them. Red Velvet, I feel like I've heard a couple of their songs, but I think a lot of K-pop artists have some really more than decent R&B tracks because they'll often collaborate with just straight up R&B artists, which is nice. Someone said, what about the new Phoebe album? Is that one out yet? I didn't listen to it yet. I will though, for sure. I think there's some Phoebe Bridgers tracks I like a lot. I like Kyoto. I like, oh God, Motion Sickness. Wait, is that a song by Phoebe Bridgers or did I just hallucinate that? Phoebe Bridgers, Motion Sickness. Yes. I like the one where she kills her neighbor because he's a Nazi. Or did I make that up? I swear to God, there's a song about that. Hold on. Phoebe Bridgers song about purring neighbor. Or maybe that's not a real song and I just made that up or something. Oh, okay. Okay, I think I might have extrapolated a little bit here. But it says, someday I'm going to live in your house up on the hill. And when your skinhead neighbor goes missing, I'll plant a garden in the yard then. Okay, so she didn't exactly say she killed this dude. My bad, JK. But in my headcanon, she did. So I'm a fan of that one as well. Someone said Garden Song. Garden Song is lit. I also really like Phoebe Bridgers' song that she has with SZA. Ghost in the Machine, I think is what that song is called. Really, really great. Fantastic. It's awesome. Someone says she has so many songs that sound like they're about killing people. Probably the more an artist has songs that vaguely sound like they could incriminate the artist, the more I'm likely to get into their discography. But yes, with all this being said, I know that she does have a new album out. I don't remember what it was called. I only listened to the one single. Oh, I listened to two singles. Yeah, Lost Weekend. So I listened to Lost Boys, which I liked. And then the new single that she released, I really, really, really liked. I don't know what that was called. Or maybe it was the title track. I don't know. She put out a video for it and it was really fantastic. But yeah, I'm pretty much like an on again, off again Phoebe Bridgers fan for sure. Someone said Nina Girachi and Porter Robinson. Yeah, I'm huge fans. I Love My Computer is such a great project from Nina Girachi. And I mean, I've been a Porter Robinson fan since I was a child. So still am. I still am. Someone said not the Steven Universe soundtrack. Rebecca Sugar always has a special place in my heart. I think Rebecca Sugar is dope. And the hate against them is crazy. I mean, me saying that, you might be like, D'Angelo, what hate? But I swear to God, I've fallen into the wrong portions of the internet before and just seen like Rebecca Sugar hate campaigns. And I was like, wait, what? We're doing this? What are we doing here? Someone said the Steven Universe soundtrack, Here Comes the Thought. Yeah, there's some bangers on the Steven Universe soundtrack, for real, for real. Someone said listen to Adele. She made history for Slovak artists. I listened to Adele. I heard Ain't in LA and KGB and I think one other song of hers I watched the video for. I think she has an X factor for sure. I think there's something there. I'm just waiting to like see it catch on. I'm kind of excited for her. Someone said the new Phoebe album is honestly my favorite from her, but it's really a project you have to judge as a whole and not go track for track, if you know what I mean. I do know what you mean, and that's why I haven't listened to it yet, because I'm actually trying to like set aside time. I also saw someone ask, what do I mean about the Rebecca Sugar hate? Okay, I'll tell you what it is. It's not Rebecca themselves. It's more so Steven Universe just gets weird hate from a certain kind of person. Now, here's the thing. As a Steven Universe fan, I'm also a hater. I have a lot of problems with the way the show was rolled out and the Steven bombs, and some of the continuity does bother me. But I'm talking about weirdos who are just like, ooh, the crystal gems are, I don't know, the show is too queer or something. I don't know. It's really cringe, and for some reason the existence of Steven Universe really just pisses off a special genre of person, which I'm not a big fan of. So yeah, I see that happen sometimes. I'm just like, do we really have to do this over what is ultimately like a harmless show that a lot of people are actually relating to in great ways? I don't know about that. I really don't. Someone said I love Steven Universe. Someone said those hiatuses were rough. Yeah, it was more so the experience of being an actual Steven Universe fan was painful. And to be fair, I don't want to sound like a poser. I only watched the first 50 episodes, but someday I will go back and finish. I watched a movie too, maybe 2 movies. Are there 2 movies? I watched at least one. I really did. Someone says I relate to Garnet and Spinel. Steven Universe has so many good characters, actually. I think on God, Garnet, Steven Universe, Garnet is literally one of the coolest characters ever created in the history of, well, characters. She's so darn cool, and Estelle's performance, both dialogue and music wise, as this character is literally so dope. Dog, I love Garnet. Just too cool for school, man. Literally too cool for school. Someone said Steven Universe set up my lesbian awakening at 18 for real. It happens to the best of us. Not me, I'm a man, but it happens to the best of you. Someone said Garnet is so cool. On God, Garnet was my fave. Yep, Garnet was absolutely my fave. 100%. Blah, 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 blah. Someone said I love Garnet, Sapphire, and Ruby. Yeah, I think I liked most of the characters, honestly. People complained about the filler, but now in our age of 6 episode seasons, we didn't know how good we had it. True. I typically prefer a shorter show, but if you're going to give me 6 seasons and then cancel it without season 2, I would rather have just 12 looser episodes. I really would at this point. I really would. Someone said Garnet gender envy. I mean, all of the crystal gems are very gender for sure. Actually, in general, I try low-key to tell everybody that if you're willing to open your mind a little bit, there's a similar property to Steven Universe that actually kind of gets into even a little heavier this idea of like genderless beings, but it's a lot weirder and it has some strange body horror things going on, and it's not finished and probably never will be, which is very sad. So I have to give all of those disclaimers off the bat. And also, if you're not a big anime fan, you're absolutely going to hate this, but Hoseki no Kuni is kind of like fever dream Steven Universe, and that's not fair. It's not a fair comparison, really. They're completely different shows. I bring this up though because the characters are actually crystal gems. This character Foss, they are literally a gem. You've got like phospholite. Sorry, I forget their full name. It's very long. All of these different types of gems are characters in this world, and basically the way it goes is they're just living there in peace and the very strange liminal space with their like sensei, I think is what they call him. And then every now and then, really disturbing entities will come from the moon and try to steal them up. Under the assumption that they're basically turning these people into jewelry, and it's just fascinating. It's a really fascinating show, and if I could push you even further, if you watch this and you're like, oh no, there was only 13 episodes or however many, you can just go read the manga because it's complete and it's really great. It kind of it changed my perspective on a few things in my life, unironically, but yeah, I love it. Y'all are like, oh, I want non-binary representation. How about literally no character in this entire anime has an actual gender? there's a little bit of NB rep for you right there. This show literally just completely does away with the concept of gender in any recognizable way. And I think the art style is really cool too. Everybody looks like a ball jointed doll. I don't know. It's fun. It's great. Someone said Foster was a very relatable character for me. Me too. Because the way they would just rapidly, well, okay, wait. I don't want to spoil. I don't think it's spoiling to say Foss repeatedly goes through rapid, massive changes, which is what you could expect from many characters and stories. But the way that they do it specifically, I did find to be so relatable. And I was just like, oh my gosh, yeah, this is what it feels like. Someone said, what's it called? Hoseki no Kuni, or in English, Land of the Lustrous, is what that one's called. It's fun. I like it. It's cool. Again, still a trigger warning for body horror and also anime art style. It's so anime. It's incredibly anime. Someone says, no, my manga list just keeps growing. Yeah, I don't even want to think about how many things I'm allegedly supposed to be reading or watching at this point. I don't even know if it's ever going to happen. I really, really don't. But I'll do my best, certainly. Someone said Antarcticite, you will always be famous. Bro, Antarcticite, I don't know if they were my favorite, but they might have been. They were literally so cool. But I also really liked Lapis. I saw someone mention Apothecary Diaries. That show's cute. You ever watch that one? Apothecary Diaries. Yeah. Okay, great. This show is really fun because I don't know. I don't know what to say about it, but it's fun. It's very cute. It follows Mao Mao, who is an apothecary. That's about it. I don't want to go into too much detail, but it's like kind of a political story, actually. It's involving a lot of like intrigue and romance, and the animation's really nice, and all of the ending songs are really good, and the opening songs are fantastic. Apothecary Diaries is litty. Someone said the light novels are so good. Bro, I need to check out the light novels. All I've done is just watch the anime, and I literally do not understand where they get the budget for this anime. Hold on, wait, let me see if I can find one of the openings. Apothecary Diaries Season 2 opening. Okay, maybe it's opening 3 I'm thinking of. Where the hell do they get the animation budget for this gosh darn show? Because I swear to God, whereas a lot of anime look nice in the beginning, but then sometimes as the budget goes down, they wind up looking a little dodgy. Apothecary Diaries has had the opposite effect, where as time goes on, I swear to God, it just looks nicer and nicer. It's so fantastic, dog. It's great. It's cool. Someone say Ichi the Witch's Peak. I want to read that one, but isn't it like new as hell though? Hold on. Ichi the Witch. Oh, it's not that new. Okay, so it's been serialized since 2024. Yeah, I actually really wanted to check this one out pretty bad, but I think when I first heard of it, it had literally just come out. I think I learned about it in 2024. And I was like, I can't start a new series. I'm not waiting. So I've just been waiting for this one to like collect, but this is probably a decent enough time to get started for sure. Someone says, I love intelligent female characters. Yo, if you love that, it's definitely Apothecary Diaries is a show for you. Also, this is just me headcanoning because you're allowed to do that. But Mao with fictional characters, Mao Mao is definitely like neurodivergent rep as hell. It's so obvious. It's literally so obvious. Like, no, we might not have used the exact same words in the time period where this show came out, but like, oh my God. My girl has got it bad, or she's got it good, depending on your perception of this. I think she's got it good. Yeah, no, she's a great character. Someone said ADHD Queen. Yeah, obviously, right? Like, we're all watching the same show, right, guys? Duh. Someone said Mama's Ace 2. Yes, she's also Ace Rep in my book as well. I made that part up, but I feel like it makes sense. I mean, she literally objectively relates to things in the same way that I do, of just not understanding what the hell anybody is talking about when it comes to certain feelings and stuff. And I'm just like, yes, it's not just me. Let's go. Let's go. Someone said, have you watched Demons of the Shadow Realm / Yomi no Sugai? Literally, like, it's still coming on, so I've been trying not to watch it because I don't want to like speed through it and then have to wait. But I've watched the first few episodes, and I think it's litty. It's very cool. Ba. Someone says Mao Mao is an ace. Can people read the light novels and stop saying that? I mean, she could be though. Wait, I kind of like this idea that like you could definitively, without a doubt, say that a character is or is not ace. I think no matter what sort of, I don't know what word I want to use in this case, desire or activity a character shows, what with ace spec being a spectrum and these characters being not real, you could totally headcanon almost any character as ace, even if they were in relationships or had sexual feelings for other characters. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's just a vibe. Like she's not real. You know what I mean? I'm not saying this about like real people or whatever. Then yeah, if people are not describing this way, I could see pushing back on that. But I feel like it's a valid interpretation, personally. I'm a big headcanon supporter, personally. Someone says she could be in my heart. Yeah. Someone said Dimmy. Yeah, that's a form of being ace. You could still get look, a lot of people, they don't know this because the word seems to contradict the existence of this, but kind of separating this from Mao Mao for a second, there be some ace freaks. There be some ace freaks out there. You would just have no idea. So, you know, it's a whole thing. She could be whatever you want. Someone says Psyche K is ace. Okay, now this is just going to turn into ace anime character headcanon stream. That's so funny. But actually, this is also a very funny anime, high-key. It's very stupid, but I think it's also very funny. And at one point, I went to a convention several years ago, and at least 3 different people were dressed as Psyche K, which I thought was hilarious. He definitely had a moment. That's a great one. I love a good, like, goofy slice of life anime. Someone says, I think Memo's just young, and I like that her character focuses on her hyperfixations over romance right now. That's a fair interpretation as well. It makes sense. I think also you have to like high key forgive people sometimes for making these headcanons because they don't give me nothing. They don't give me representation nowhere. I have to make things up and make entire like crime wall presentations of why I feel like this character is actually this thing or this character could be that thing. Because if I'm actually just looking for characters broadly and explicitly described as being a spec, baby, where are they? So that's another reason why I'm very much just like open to the idea of just, you could just say any character is if you want them to be. It's not invalidating anything at this point. Someone said we're starving. Someone said, oh God, I got crumbs. We're working with crumbs over here. So sometimes when we are like, oh, hey, that's kind of relatable, it's understandable where people are coming from. Someone said, you're so me. Bro, I'm just like, where's the representation at? Someone said the struggle is real. It's very painful. It hurts. Someone says, I like headcanoning characters with very little personality until they're my OCs. Reading chat. Someone says you were my ace rep, and that made me realize, oh, I was your ace rep. Let's go. That's probably the reason why I say it at this point, because I'm just like, I realized one day, I was just like, dog, where are we? I know it's more of us than it seems, even though there is that desire to just fade away into the background and not be perceived by anybody. So I actually understand why we're not all over the place. But I'm like, I'm just going to start telling people this. That way, if they feel like they can't think of a single person, I would at least be there in their mind as a reference point. Oh my God. Someone says so many ace characters are robots or non-human for some reason. It's a whole thing. It really is. Someone said BoJack Horseman's so good. I still need to watch that, but I'm also just not in the headspace to do so. I think so many people say like, oh yes, BoJack Horseman, great show, and I believe them because if consistently for 12 years people have been saying the show is good, it probably is. But then I look at some of the things people say about this, and I'm like, why would I put myself through that right now? Why would right this second? No. So I'm very much not currently interested in watching this, but someday I will. I have literally just heard things about this where I'm just like, this, I don't want to be destroyed. But someone said Todd from BoJack Horseman says, hey, that's the representation I want right there. And someday when I do want to be destroyed, I will watch this and then find out for myself. I really, really will. Someone said amazing show, but holy trauma. Someone said I couldn't watch it. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I cannot do that right now. I want to and I'm going to, but oh my actual God. No, baby. No, baby. Someone said, I wouldn't do that to yourself now. I've seen it 3 times through, and I wouldn't watch it right now. You got to be in the headspace. It's literally all about where your energy is at any given time. Someone said, yeah, some shows require you to be in the mood. Someone said it's one of my comfort shows. I understand that. Again, I've literally just heard great things about it, which I'm excited. And even though people have hyped it up, I'm still going to go into it with no expectations. Just, I see it means a lot to a lot of people, but I'm going to try to find my own meaning for it. That way I'm not like hyping it up to be this crazy thing and then it's not that and I get disappointed. Because I used to make that mistake heavy all the time. I was disappointed by everything. Someone said beautiful show I could not keep watching, so I didn't get to enjoy anything with Todd. I could see that same thing happening to me, and I don't want to stop and start for real, for real. Someone said that's how I feel about Grave of the Fireflies. I know what it's about, and I absolutely can't. Yeah. Like, I think on God, media like this is obviously important for sure. Grave of the Fireflies follows 2 orphaned siblings who desperately struggle to survive during the final months of the Pacific War. It looks like such a beautiful movie. I don't want to scroll past the plot and spoil it. But also, I'm good right now. I'm good, baby. Someone said I think all of my comfort shows are also possibly traumatizing, and I'm not sure what that says about me. It says you're just doing what you got to do. That's how I feel. At the end of the day, you just got to do what you got to do. Yeah, things that you watch for comfort may wind up literally traumatizing others. Do what you got to do in this world. That's all you got to do. Someone said that's how you get your whole month ruined. Yeah, no, like I'm not there right now. No. Someone said I haven't touched Grave of the Fireflies and I have no plans to. I'm not strong enough for that. I cry watching the tale of Princess Kaguya. Yeah, and there's levels to this. There really are levels to this. Someone said Venture Brothers and Gravity Falls are my comfort stuff right now. Gravity Falls, greatest animated show of all time. Sorry, if you have a different favorite, and that's okay. But it's my goat. Gravity Falls, #1, hands down, fantastic. I love it, so good. I could consider this one of my comfort shows probably. I don't really like rewatch TV like that. I more so just like listen to stuff or reread things or whatever. But like, oh my gosh, so good, so good. Someone said my middle school comfort book was The Lovely Bones. On God? Chat. Whoa. Someone said, good evening. Did I miss the topic discussion? Unfortunately, you did, but don't worry. You could go back and watch it. Or if you want a shorter, more succinct version, just wait till tomorrow. You'll be all good. You really, really will. Someone said, Crumbs in a Dream or on High School Host Club's gender fluid representation for me is Haruhi Fujioka. You got to do what you got to do. Take it where you can find it. For real, for real. Someone said Gravity Falls, my beloved. Yeah, it's great. I love it. Someone said Princess Kaguya is so beautiful, though. I love the art style so much. So many animated films are just like far and beyond what you might expect for them. Someone said my now 17-year-old son and daughter, twins, grew up obsessed with Gravity Falls. Yeah. Oh, God. I don't know why that made me feel so old. Because I'm like, oh yeah, I'm just like your 17-year-old kids, except for the part where I'm turning 28. Oh no, chat, this isn't good. It's not looking good for him. He's washed. Someone said Haruhi, my non-binary icon. See, I just be making up NB characters in my head because I can. I really can. Someone said Over the Garden Wall is fantastic too. Yes, it absolutely is, and I agree strongly. Gravity Falls and The Amazing World of Gumball are peak Cartoon Network. The Amazing World of Gumball is funny as hell. I'm not gonna lie, and I really like the mishmash art style you get in that one. Someone says Superstore, my comfort store for life. My mom loved that show, Superstore. It was pretty funny from what I remember. It's on God people who just work in a big store, but it has like, you know, it's like The Office, but if it took place in a store, I guess. Someone said, everyone get into Princess Jellyfish right now for queer and neurodivergent rep. Trust. Bro, I would check it out just off that recommendation. I literally would. Someone said Infinity Train. I remember Infinity Train. That was a whole era. I mean, at this point, I was too old to be watching cartoons, but I was still watching them. So it is what it is. Someone said rewatching Haikyuu for comfort. Haikyuu is so hype. It's so lit. To be fair, I don't think I watched the entire show, but I watched enough of it. I think I watched like 2 seasons or something like that. It's so good. It's about what is this boy's name? Oh yeah, Hinata. How could I forget? It's about this kid who plays volleyball, and he's like, I have one goal in life, and it is to volleyball so hard, because he literally walks past a performance, as if volleyball is a concert, walks past a game and sees this player, and he's like, feels represented basically, and he's like, I want to go on and do this, even though, you know, I'm a shorty and I want to do this position in the game that might work better if I was taller or whatever. I don't remember the exact details, but yeah, he pushes past a lot of that, and like he makes friends with, well, you know, he learns to work with the people on his team, and it's also like a really shabby team. I mean, the players are fine, but they don't like have the budget. Low-key, I don't know, it's pretty good. I remember enjoying it a lot. Haikyuu's lit. It's great. Someone says there's no too old to be watching cartoons while Slanders is. You know what, you're right though. I retract that, because at the end of the day, I'm going to be watching whatever entertains me for as long as I want to. And you're exactly right about that. So forget the phrase too old for cartoons. That's not even a thing. Catch me still watching anime and Pixar movies and whatever animated thing I want. Whatever Sony does next, I'll probably be there. I watched K-pop Demon Hunters and I thought it was cute, actually. So yeah, screw that. Someone says Adventure Time has 3 spin-offs at this point and never fell off, and they're doing another one, which I saw, which I'm excited about. Someone says I'm 28 and wake up to cartoons. Yeah, I don't know why I'm sitting here lying. There's no such thing as too old, to be honest. There is such a thing as being too old to be mad about kids' cartoons. There is. Like, am I gonna get mad? Yes, but if your actually sole purpose on the internet is being mad over kids' content, you can be too old for that. I see that happen sometimes where I'm just like, y'all know we are not the target audience for this, right? Like, it's a perk that this exists and we can enjoy it, but oh, that's a lot of energy. That's a lot of energy. Someone said K-pop Demon Hunters was a cute and fun time. It really was. Someone said, do you believe in friendship is magic? You know, I've never actually been into My Little Pony, interestingly. I think it's very cute. It's undeniably cute, right? Friendship is magic. I shouldn't be saying this because I'm stereotyping like a mofo. But actually, as cute as My Little Pony is, I was just, as a teenager in 2010, actually I think I was like 12. I was very, very scared of bronies. And maybe I shouldn't have been. I think I was too young to be on the internet. And anytime I saw anything stemming from adults, or even, should I say men, because I was a boy, following the My Little Pony fan base, it was consistently the most heinous, terrifying stuff I had ever seen imaginable, from people turning it into gore or sexualizing it unnecessarily. So I literally lived my life in fear of adults who enjoyed My Little Pony, and also guys who were into My Little Pony. And that's why I never got into it. Because I was scared. Someone said bronies scare me too. It's okay. I was so deeply terrified. I would find like a My Little Pony video that would like pop up, and then I'd click in and it was like gore and like blood and stuff, and clearly not made by a child. And I was like, I'm 13. What are we doing here? I'm sad and afraid. Oh, someone said it was scary. It was actually scary. So yeah, I think privately, I think it's a cute show. But I'm real good on that personally. Real good on that, baby. Oh man. Someone said, once again, YouTube ruining everything, even My Little Pony. Yeah, but you know what? That was a really common experience, though. It would happen to me, too, where, like, I would click into literally, like, a Sonic the Hedgehog video as a kid, and I'd be like, oh, it's Sonic the Hedgehog. I love Sonic the Hedgehog. And then it was gore, or Sonic's, like, decapitated, or, like, his organs are spilling out, and I'm like, and it was tricky though because I was literally 12. Part of me was obviously like, oh well, this is horrifying, but another part of me was like, oh, that was interesting, I should find more of this. And so I really don't know what to say for myself or the state of the internet at this time, but yeah, it was pretty bad actually. It was I don't really feel like I should have been consuming this type of content. And then also you're gonna feel like I'm getting way too specific on you right now, but it's this weird overlap of certain child-friendly characters that are frequently and intentionally associated with like this really heavy stuff. Hatsune Miku. If you don't know the world of wildly violent, bloody, truly not safe for kids Hatsune Miku content that exists on the platform of YouTube, baby, I was all over that when I was a youngin'. I loved me a good, demented, violent, gory Hatsune Miku video because YouTube just kept showing them to me. And I didn't really know anything about anything, or that this content was obviously not good for me. So yeah, YouTube is a very strange website for you to use as a child with unfettered internet access, and I don't recommend it. 0 out of 10. Someone said they put my girl through it. Yeah, it was bad. It was actually pretty bad. I don't know why people make videos like this, but alas. Someone said, don't take me back, D'Angelo. It was so bad. I don't know if any of us knew what we were doing. I didn't, for sure. Someone says, what about kids content that is violent, like Warrior Cats? It was never things like that people want to do the most with. It's more like, oh, what's the cute stuff? Hatsune Miku? Okay, ruin that. Hello Kitty? Make it weird. Oh man. Someone said even Disney princesses were co-opted for weird videos. Oh God. Okay, so I never did watch that kind of stuff, but like, on God, there is just a genre of YouTube content based off of kids stuff that I really have to ask myself, why? I don't understand. I really don't. Reading chat. Someone says, I remember some old YouTube poop videos would have like violent anime scenes for shock value. If you don't know what the YTP/YouTube poop subgenre is, it's literally just ridiculously edited things with like memes and flashing lights and rainbow colors, and none of it makes sense anymore. But yes, sometimes it would just intercut with like intentionally edgy stuff, and it'd be like, oh, okay, that's cool. Or like a lot of jump scare content I remember when I was a kid. And this has all had the unfortunate effect of desensitizing me to the point where nothing, and I mean nothing, is actually that bad, as long as it's not real. I don't ever want to see a real video of a person being hurt. That's always going to make me feel pretty bad. But it I really actually mourn the part of myself that used to have a normal response to triggering content, but it just died because I kept encountering so much of it as a young person with no one to tell about it, that I just started filing it under, oh, that's okay, this is fine. And so now, even when it's things like, I'm not going to spoil this, right? But like in Obsession, for example, the car scene. I just like, I literally am just watching this with my eyes glazed over, just like, oh, okay, this is fine. It was horrifying, obviously, and I'm not trying to be edgy, but I'm just like, what can you do? So yeah, I hate the level of desensitization that has happened to me because of the weird videos that the internet was so gleeful to put in front of my child eyes. It's so bad. It's so bad. Someone said that's relatable. Yeah, no, it's, oh man, I want to react normally actually to these things, and I'm not. Someone said me using Twitter for years. Yeah, if you were on Twitter at the wrong time or at all, probably you've been massively desensitized to this kind of stuff. God, it's so bad. It really, really is. Someone says, now I know before encountering it and flee, if that makes sense. Oh, you can just tell, honestly, yeah, when something like that's about to happen, because there's a type of rhythm that things start falling into where you're like, oh, someone's going to do something really horrifying, aren't they? It's not good. It's really, really not. But that being said, the car scene was still grody, brother. It was gnarly. It was nasty. Props to everybody for pulling that off. But yeah, God, why can't I be normal? Someone says we mourn for desensitized baby D'Angelo. Rest in peace, child me. I'll do my best to uphold your legacy or whatever. Someone says it's so dystopian to be able to scroll from a video with actual death to something completely different. Well, yeah, that didn't help me either, because or Twitter will show me something horrifying and then I scroll and it's just like a joke about, I don't know, airline food. It's just yikes. Someone said the early internet is okay, yeah, I don't even want to start getting into details, but in general, what was happening on YouTube and Twitter is like leftover from a lot of things that people used to do online that were just so edgy, so unnecessary, and I missed a lot of that because I started using the web in, I guess, the 2010s. But yeah, there was even stuff before that that was just so like, bro, what, why? Why? Someone said Reddit used to have so much gore on that. Reddit used to be so bad. Reddit used to be so bad. They literally had like does anybody remember the 50-50 game on Reddit, where it was like a 50-50 chance that it would either be like a cute animal video or like some sort of not safe for life clip? Yes, I said not safe for life. A lot of you probably know the term not safe for work. There's also a not safe for life, which is just, you will literally never, ever, ever, ever be able to scrub it from your memory. Yeah, people used to like play games on Reddit of like, oh, is this a cute animal video or is it some horrifying, terrible real life footage? And I don't understand why anything was like that back then. I really, really don't. I don't. Someone said unfortunately, yeah, I remember that vividly, not fondly, vividly. And someone says it's not safe for life subreddit. Yeah, no, I can't do that stuff intentionally at this point. I don't ever want to see that. I really, really do not. Someone says you'll get actively traumatized. I saw some traumatizing stuff on Reddit. I saw traumatizing stuff on YouTube, Twitter, random comment sections, and other websites. A lot more websites used to have comment sections. I saw disturbing stuff there. Just so bad, man. Someone says, why as a preteen did I feel pulled to keep watching? Yeah, that was my problem too. I just, yeesh. Someone said people thought it was funny. I don't really know. I didn't think it was funny. I actually have no idea what drives that style of content. I genuinely don't. My excuse that I will use until the cows come home is I was a child, but the non-children who are posting all this stuff, I don't really get the intention behind any of this. It's just so strange, man. So strange. Someone says, I really, really do / I really, really don't is a phrase you repeat a lot. I have my bangers, baby. I am a broken record. But even a broken clock is right twice a day. And really being right twice a day would be a really high success rate for a YouTube channel. So I'll take it. Am I right? 12 times, 14 times a week? Heck yeah. And someone says humans are naturally inclined to be curious about morbid stuff. That's true. Yeah, I guess there was like that element of it as well. But can I say what all of this has resulted in for me? I've become much less edgy. And I finally, at age 27, going on 28, consider myself to be kind of past the edge of it. I actually take more joy in wholesome things now than I do things that are just edgy. I used to be so cynical. I think the internet literally turned me into like a rock or something that was just so deeply unwilling to ever accept anything wholesome without irony, because wholesomeness was always attached to something horrifying and traumatizing, and it was weaponized to trick people into viewing content that is scarring. But lately, I actually think it's nice when things are just nice. I don't want to see bad things. I just want things to be lovely. So that's how I feel. I've finally moved past my numbness phase into a phase of actively enjoying being shown things that are just cute or whatever, and seeing that there is value and utility in them. And I don't know, it's great. I love it. Sometimes I'm very sensitive and wholesome. I've become certainly much more sensitive and wholesome than I was as a preteen, watching the most heinous things imaginable on the internet. That's how I feel. Character development, yay. So as a baby millennial and old Gen Z, 96 cusp, I feel that you understand, coming from your 98 sibling over here. You genuinely understand. Someone said bad things happen constantly. Why would I seek them out? Exactly, because there's enough traumatizing things waiting around the corner. Okay, that sounds really dark, but I'm being for real right now. So let me have my cute little fun time over here. Actually, for real, please. And it's not even just my generation. Obviously, I'm sure everybody has their own version of this. I try to be mindful whenever I say generational stuff now, because then you'll get like a cohort of people outside of it being like, it's not just you. And I'm like, I know it's not just me, but we do all have our own versions of things. I think like me being a cringe Gen Z / borderline millennial, no, I don't really think that generational divides are real, but also they serve utility. If I want to start referencing certain vibes or connecting people to certain ideas very quickly, they're useful like that, but I don't think they're useful in terms to actually judge people. Also, speaking of millennials, wait, someone said, whoa, same. I came back to the stream and I definitely had a gore phase in my early teens, born in 97. Yeah, we're like the exact same age and had the same experience. I feel like more people don't talk about this, probably because it's embarrassing or weird, but it happened to me. I was traumatized. Speaking of millennial energy, pardon that clunky term, even though I don't know if this person's a millennial. Did y'all see the Peter Pan lady that everybody keeps talking about? I'm being pushed but algorithmically to talk about this. I can literally feel it because so many people on TikTok are talking about it, and I think it's bleeding its way onto YouTube. Because this is the intersection of Disney adult and also recording people for content, it's become a hot button issue where so many people have feelings about this person. I think this is her, I think. Yeah, baby Tony 99 on TikTok, who would actually be Gen Z, not a millennial. I just say millennial because Disney adults is so associated with that generation. Am I the only... Someone said everyone's making a video about it. Everyone's making a video about it, and I do understand that. And I started the research process because I thought I was going to talk about it. But I kind of don't really understand what the problem is here. I think to the same extent that everyone else does. For context, this person records herself going to Disneyland and interacting with the Peter Pan actors, not like a specific guy. She's literally been doing this for 10 years. So there's been hella different Peter Pans. So it's I think when this story was first presented to me and people kept using the word stalker, I thought they were saying that this Disney adult was like, oh yeah, I'm stalking the guy who plays Peter Pan at Disneyland because I love Peter Pan so much. But then I started looking into it. It's just the character. And yes, she has a lot of long, awkward, and cringy conversations with Peter Pan, but at Disneyland, Disney World. But also, I am not picking up the same energy that everybody else is. It's even to the point where it might not have been this video itself. It might have been a different one. But I literally saw people in the comments. There was like a guy in the comments saying like, oh, I played Peter Pan at one point, and like I didn't really find this to be super uncomfortable. I kind of enjoyed guests like this, and people were trying to tell that guy like, no, you suck, or that's not what they were saying, but they're like, no, stop trying to normalize this, when it was literally just somebody like talking about his experience. And then I just also feel like people are reacting to this so strongly. Like here she is like offering him a little crochet figure, and yes, again, awkward, silly, goofy, even though I kind of find the entire concept of Disney World with paid actors to be awkward. And people are like, he effing hates you. Disney adults are so weird. Let the kids enjoy the character and step aside. Like the dude's face, I'm crying. I like, we love you. I know, he's so done. I just kind of don't. Someone in chat said, the reaction is extreme, but she is crossing the lines at times. One of the Peter Pans literally said that she made him uncomfortable because of unwanted touch and hanging around for a long time. Okay. Sounds like there are things to criticize here, for sure. And I'm not trying to... D'Angelo goes online and defends Peter Pan lady. No. Without a doubt, I think there's a lot that we could say about the way that she's choosing to film all of this, and him certainly not being able to say no, obviously, because it's literally his job. And yes, it's leading to a lot of weirdness and awkwardness, etc. I just also feel like a lot of people talking about this have devolved into misogynistic bullying. And I'm not just bringing that up as a buzzword to try to shut down criticism of this. I would be more excited to have a conversation or participate in this discourse if I wasn't getting this weird undertone from a lot of the conversation about this. So maybe at some point, I guess I would like, who knows, maybe I'll come back on Saturday and talk about it if I figure this out, but probably not. So many people talking about this they have weird vibes and weird energy. And I want to be really careful. So I'm just waiting. Someone said it feels more like a witch hunt rather than caring about the actual situation. Yeah, because like at this point we know it's weird or whatever. So what are we gonna do, I guess, about it through our commentary of saying this person effing hates you and Disney adults are so weird and leave the park and let the kids have a chance. And I'm just like, so yeah, that's any actual take I would have to say about this. I'm just kind of sitting on currently because I don't think. No, I don't like it. I don't like it, guys. I don't like it. I don't like the direction this has gone in. And this happens a lot, by the way. When we talk about random people online, I'm just like, it's just one person. It's just one person. I know, like, I myself make videos about random people on TikTok, even though I try to mostly talk about random situations as opposed to random people. I do think there's a difference. But like, I don't know, man. It is what it is. It truly is. Someone said people be going so hard. Yeah, that, like, if we were just saying in a normal commentary way, hey, there's this micro influencer and she's the Peter Pan lady, and she follows the Peter Pans around, and some of them have even said they find it uncomfortable. I would literally love to have this conversation. That sounds like it was made in the lab for me to talk about, but when I open the comment sections and I'm just like the most rancid vibes imaginable, I'm like, never mind, I don't want to talk about this. I really don't. I also see a lot of people mentioning ableism, and I don't even know the context of that, but I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, God, why can't conversations about anything ever be normal? But yeah, I'm aware of the Peter Pan lady, and I don't think it's currently such a big deal that I have to make a video about it immediately. Closing all my tabs because I have literally so many tabs open. So many tabs open. Okay, there we go. Easy peasy. Someone says I do not defend unwanted touching or touching actors as an adult at all. Same. But the type of hate and criticism reminds me low-key of the people that were making fun of poly people's look. Yeah. I mean, yeah. There's multiple things happening and they make me feel conflicted, which is never a good thing, by the way, too. Because also, sometimes if you make a video and you don't hate somebody as much as everybody else does, then people get mad at you. I don't know if y'all know about that one. That's a commentary creator deep cut that probably most of your fellow creators wouldn't tell you, but I'll say it very publicly. There's been multiple times where I've talked about someone and I was of the opinion of like, I think there are things to criticize here, but I just kind of feel like this person's not giving murderer vibes the way the entire internet's acting. And then you will get massive portions of the commenters being like, well, actually you're minimizing. And I'm like, I'm not minimizing anything. So sometimes I'm just like, I don't even want to get mobbed by TikTok telling me that I'm wrong. Even if I am wrong, it is what it is. It really is. Someone said, how do poly people look? I didn't know this was a thing. Yeah, so no, there is no poly look. People will find a way of making fun of anything that they don't find socially acceptable at the end of the day. So if we have to pretend like people in poly relationships are all terrible or whatever, we're going to start stereotyping them and bullying them in a way that we deem to be acceptable. Or if we hate Disney adults, which I'm not really a big Disney fan either, but a lot of the Disney adult hate is actually so incredibly strange, stereotypical, and just evolves into bullying and weirdness. I don't really like it. I really don't. It's just so odd. It's so incredibly odd. Also, a lot of the people who go viral in poly stuff, they're not even actually poly. They're just weirdos who have no communication skills or are like springing things on their partners, and then they get highlighted as an example of what people think poly relationships are, but that's not even actual representation, and nobody in a normal poly relationship would ever permit the things that are happening in these videos that go viral all the time. So that's cringe and annoying. Someone says, we don't hate them, we just look down on them and pray for their healing, lol JK. Yeah, exactly. It's not hatred, I'm not judging, I'm just judging. It's so weird, man. It's so weird. But yeah, there's nothing. At the end of the day, if nobody's actually really hurting something, does it matter? And if they are, can we say this in a way that doesn't devolve into us turning around and hurting that person? I'm trying not to be too Mr. Rogers about it, but like, damn, bro, come on. Blah, 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 blah. Reading chat. Someone says Disney adults aren't even so different from Harry Potter adults. I think too, like, one thing that pisses me off a lot, and I'll give you an example of this. Early in the stream, 3 hours and 2 minutes ago, I was talking about ear stretching, right? Because, you know, I'm trying to put increasingly large holes in my earlobes because I have free will and bodily autonomy. And I saw the other day, I stumbled on a month's old post of a guy showing off like his earlobes or whatever, but everyone was being so hateful. And I was confused because I usually stick within those subreddits like for actual ear stretching stuff, but I didn't realize I was on like, I don't remember what subreddit it was. It was like r slash, not funny, but like be amazed or something like that, where it was a bunch of normies, people who don't have body modifications, weighing in on what this guy had done with his ears. And people were saying all of this stuff about like, oh, it's gross or this, that, the other. But what people kept saying was like, it's just sad that he made it his entire personality. This guy's Reddit account is just sad. Go look at how sad his Reddit account is, and you go look at his Reddit account, and everything that he posts is about ear stretching. And they were getting downvoted, but the people saying it was sad were getting upvoted, and people were getting downvoted for saying like, I don't think this guy has made having stretched ears his entire personality. I think it's just one aspect of his personality that he expresses online frequently through this account. And people were like, no, the people like this are pathetic. I knew people like this. I feel like people tend to do this with anything that they look down upon, and Disney adults falls into the same category where people are like, oh, it's not really that we have a problem that you enjoy Disney properties. We just don't like that you've made it your entire personality. And I'm like, maintaining a social media account dedicated to one interest doesn't mean it's your entire personality, or having a fixation doesn't mean it's your entire personality. I actually find that criticism at this point to be kind of dehumanizing, actually. A form of dehumanization that we are really, really okay with. And maybe at this point, I'm literally giving that one friend that's too woke. There's very few things in this world I would ever say are someone's entire personality. And that's what I don't like about some of this. You're a this kind of adult, you're a Disney adult, you're a this adult, you're a that adult. Why are we sticking adjectives in front of adult as if this person is not more than that? And why are we acting obtuse over the fact that obviously people can be multifaceted? I don't know. As somebody who like fixates on things a lot and finds myself in similar positions as that guy was on that one Reddit, I was like, wow, this kind of sucks. I guess you could say the same thing about me making pop culture commentary or drama or whatever my entire personality. I mean, it's really not my entire personality, and I don't think I would be offended by that, but like, it's so off base, I think, especially in the internet where we're encouraged to show our appreciation for our niche interests all the time. So that's what bothers me about the Disney adult discourse. Not that I don't find it weird or whatever, but like, I don't know. I would love to see some of the same smoke being thrown towards sports fans at the end of the day. I would love to see just a fraction of that energy thrown towards sports fans. Like the levels of parasociality that are widely accepted as normal at that point. I'm like, your whole day just got made or ruined by the actions of some dudes running around with the ball. What? If you can go do that in peace, then let me do my annoying internet stuff in peace too, okay? I'm not gonna see you watching cars drive in a circle 200 times and say it's your entire personality, even though you're buying merch for this. You're buying merch. Everybody has weird interests. It's weird to be interested in anything. Come on, bro. It really, really is. Someone said sports fans deserve all your flack. I mean, there's all kinds of sports fans for sure, but yeah, no, like, it's look at what kind of interests get labeled cringe or whatever versus which ones don't, and at the end of the day, it's wild, man. It really is. Reading chat. Someone said people break their TVs and ruin relationships based on sports outcomes. Yeah, I've seen it. And as much as I want to say it's not that serious, I'm sure you could turn around and say some things I take really seriously or not that serious too. So who's really winning here? Nobody at the end of the day. Someone says, can we talk about the misogyny fangirls get? But typically male fans of sports are seen as normal with a passion for a hobby. Well, yeah, because I mean, what are the things that are cringy to care about? K-pop, uh, Minecraft YouTubers, even though they have a really large fan base full of many people, but it's associated with girls honestly watching this content. Pop music is seen as very frilly and silly. Drama, reality TV. There's a lot. Romance novels is a big one. The wrong genre of literature at all, which is women are huge drivers, by the way, of literature sales at this point. Just look at the way that things like this are talked about versus other interests that are more traditionally associated with men, and the double standard becomes pretty obvious. Now, this doesn't mean you can't be a man and a fan of K-pop. It doesn't mean you can't be a woman and a fan of NASCAR. Be like me and be non-binary and a fan of nothing and everything. I think all the gendered aspects of it are stupid, but unfortunately, society applies them to everything and then proceeds to judge people differently depending on what the gender is. Someone says, so all the stuff I like. Yeah, it's very convenient how easy it is where you feel like you're criticizing this social phenomenon, but if you really, really, really look within yourself, you're actually just kind of criticizing women for enjoying things. But anyways, it'd be like that. It really, really do. Reading chat. Someone said, but it's not their whole personality, D'Angelo. Exactly. And sports fans, I know it's not your entire personality. I would never say that about you for sure. Ugh, someone mentioned Jared Leto. Gross. What a terrible person. I didn't even start writing an outline. I saw, though, that there is definitely stuff there to talk about, what with the recent allegations against him, and also weird things involving his band and the getaways and stuff like that. But I was like, I'm sorry, this is actually genuinely too weird right now. Maybe later. Someone said, just be like me and love sports and K-pop. Yeah, it's all very silly the way people are about everything. Someone says, I'm non-binary and I choose Linux. Did you choose Linux or did Linux choose you? Does anybody really choose Linux at the end of the day, or is it just something that happens to you? Someone said hating Jared Leto is my whole personality. That's a valid one. Abusers deserve all the smoke. For real. He's so creepy. Actually, God, sorry. I shouldn't talk about this because I haven't researched it well enough to talk about this in a way that is coherent, but dude is a problem. Actually, should not be getting booked for anything at this point. Someone said, did he do something new? Here. Live research coming to you live. Or would if my computer was actually working, but it's not. Tick, 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 tick. Okay, never mind. Someone said Android is Linux. Is it? I guess it is. No, what I'm referring to would be from a couple weeks ago. 4 women accused Jared Leto of criminal sexual conduct. And we're saying women, by the way, but also we're talking about minors here. Yeah, no. I'm very much over all of that. It's just really, really, really gross. He's like Russell Brand core, honestly, and I feel like people don't realize this for some reason. I know I didn't realize the extent of it. I know he was already in weird hot water involving like his, as I said, his band and his like weird getaways that he would do and the culty vibes right there. But yeah, Jared Leto accused of sexual misconduct with teenage girls. It's just yuck. Not okay. Someone said, did just say Oscar winning? Oh yeah, we still have to hype him up and be like Oscar winning. I don't know if it said it right here. It did. Oscar winning actor and 30 seconds of, I mean, it's I don't know how that's relevant info. I guess I understand where they're coming from journalistically, but also no. Please no. Someone said a whole damn cult leader. Yeah, no. Dude, the Jared Leto cult stuff is insane. But yeah, I am not a fan of him. Safe space to say that that's completely horrifying energy for sure. Someone says, I feel like he's been weird since 30 Seconds to Mars, but not enough people cared. Yeah, very, very much that energy. Someone said Leto sucks, like who gives enough? Yeah, I care insofar as behavior like this needs to be called out, and it's important that people coming forward have a platform to be heard on a wide scale like this. I don't care insofar as like Why are we still booking this guy in the first place? I just really can't do that. No, thank you. Someone said also he's just straight up a bad actor. Oh, okay. Well, you might ruffle some feathers with that one. I haven't really seen him in that many things, so I can't even have like an opinion on that. But yeah, certainly there's no level of acting good enough that you should excuse allegations, is what I would say about that. And you know what? Whether he's a good actor or not, you should be a good enough actor to not have to do that cringe method acting stuff. Jared Leto, Joker, method acting. I'm sure I can find an article about this. Yeah. Okay. So I don't know or remember if the used condom thing was true. Oh, Jared Leto says he didn't send used condoms to Suicide Squad cast. Okay, great. But he was sending them a bunch of weird, gross stuff on purpose. He literally said, I did a lot of things to create a dynamic, to create an element of surprise, a spontaneity, and to really break down any kind of walls that may be there. The Joker is somebody who doesn't really respect things like personal space and boundaries. Really, really incredibly weird person. Oh, I'm playing a character, the Joker, who doesn't respect people's space and boundaries. So I'm going to do a bunch of things as Jared Leto that are disrespecting the boundaries and space of my coworkers. The very few gifts that were ever given with the spirit of fun and adventure, they were received with laughter, etc. Like, I just, no. People were literally saying, it says right here, Viola Davis said that he gifted his castmates, quote, some really horrific things, including a live black rat to Margot Robbie and a dead hog that his henchman apparently plopped on the table during filming. Now, this somehow, for reasons I don't really know, turned into Jared Leto sends used condom to fellow actors. I don't think that specific thing happened, but don't let that distract you from the fact that he was absolutely sending disturbing and gross things to his coworkers under the vibe of method acting, which Viola Davis explicitly said happened. I don't think she's lying about this. And he agreed to. He agreed with her that this took place. So weirdo, strange man, very odd individual. No, thank you. Please no. Someone says if you need to make a character your whole life for it to be believable, you're not a good actor. I would unfortunately agree with that. Maybe you could just act like the Joker instead of trying to embody the Joker in your personal life to get into that character, because that's not right to do when it's affecting other people. Really, really isn't. Someone said method acting and it's just an excuse to harass women. Literally, though. Someone said, did you guys see the news about Wattpad? Wait, that could be the lot. Is there news about Wattpad? I have to go in a second, but what news? I'm looking at news. Oh, wait, they're saying Wattpad is banning smut. Oh, they're not banning smut. No, Wattpad is not banning smut. Yes, fanfiction lovers are still freaking out. Why? What did they say? Hold on, we're getting locked out of this article. If they did that, that would genuinely be the stupidest move imaginable. Well, first of all, I'm pretty sure half of the things on the platform would vanish. Whoa, what just happened? Half of the... Oh, I put the wrong thing. Archive is half of the things on the website would just vanish like Thanos snapped if they were going to do that. Oh, darn it. Okay, hold on. We have to go somewhere else other than NBC. Mashable. Okay, so they have new content rules, which it seems like people were freaking out about. Oh, someone said what I just said. How is Wattpad banning smut? That's half of the books right there. It says you can't create content that is created, or you can't upload content that is created primarily for arousal. Wait, what? Why? That doesn't make any sense. Or no pornographic content, they say. Why is Mom Donnie here? Someone said Mayor Mom Donnie will fix this. Okay, I don't think the Zoran is on the Wattpad case specifically, but then they said we updated some of the language in our content guidelines to make policies clearer. Our policies and how we moderate haven't changed. Okay, it still remains home for stories that are steamy, complicated, romantic, weird, emotional, and everything in between. Okay, stories may contain explicit content when the people involved are at least 18, and it supports a larger story rather than serving as its primary purpose, and they must be marked mature. Okay, this is fine, I think. I don't know, actually. I don't know enough about Wattpad's guidelines to know whether this is a good or bad thing. It doesn't sound good, but like, clearly they should have handled this better if people are freaking out and thinking all their stories are going to disappear off the platform. But yeah, I'm not here to back them. I would have to look into what they're actually saying and why people are upset by it. Someone said, Mom Donnie, help us. Mom Donnie ain't doing nothing for Wattpad. It's over. Goodbye. All your accounts. Thanos snapped. Someone said there has to be plot. Anything's a plot if you use your imagination, is what I have to say about that. Anyways, I don't know why we're ending on Wattpad smut guidelines, but you know what? It's another lovely day on the internet. Thank you. Thank you for joining the stream. I will catch you all on Saturday. And I actually quite enjoyed most of the stream. I didn't enjoy the Jared Leto talk. He's so weird, but that wasn't your fault. Bye, everybody.